A classic in Knoxville, bit of a miracle in Knoxville as the Georgia Bulldogs in overtime beat Tennessee 44-41. I'm Dayne Young from UGAsports.com. This is the Postgame Overreaction show. If you go to our YouTube page, our link to join and share your thoughts, it's there. We'll bring up a lot of fans over the next couple of hours. I'm going to get us rolling. Radi Nabulsi headed over to home studio. We'll take over from there. As you can tell, I'm still where we do our UGA Sports Watch Along show with Jim Donnan. And the coach was around pacing at the end of that because all the things happen at the end that Georgia should have walked out of Knoxville with a loss. And instead, it is 9 straight victories over Tennessee. Just an unbelievable finish as Tennessee shanks a field goal at the end. Georgia gets a little lady luck on its side. And then in overtime, just a fantastic running play blocked beautifully for Nate Frazier to get down there. And then Josh McCray gets the hammer from there. Wow. Fred F is in the chat saying I called it. This was probably about 7 minutes to go in the game. Georgia trailing, I believe it was 8 at that point. And I said I still thought Georgia was going to win the game. When it was 4th down and they needed the Hail Mary essentially to get London Humphreys, of all the people on the roster, and I think Humphreys is a good football player, but I would not have expected that Humphreys would have been the hero that Georgia had in that moment. Dr. Anand Emus, not a prophet, definitely not. I just had faith that with the way that Georgia was playing on offense, which I have only glowing things to say, I thought Mike Bobo called a really good game. You're probably going to have some things you disagree with. That's what this is for. Fine. Gunnar Stockton, spectacular. In fact, let's pull up some of these stats here. And I'm sure we'll have some folks pop in that want to join. I will tell you, one of the things that was said, a joke at the end of the UGA Sports Watch Along show, which Roddy's probably already stolen for Twitter at this point, but 9 wins in a row, that's as many as Kevin Mays can count on his fingers. Just a fantastic joke. Wonderful joke. Perry Parks on X. Yes, Bo Hughley coming in at right tackle in the 4th quarter was the difference maker to me to give Georgia even the slightest chance to get that far. Because for 2 games now, the majority of 2 games, right tackle has been just a cluster. And I could put another 4-letter word on the end of that. Right tackle is as weak of a spot as I can remember on Georgia at this stage of a season. And that's going to happen sometimes with rosters and transfers and all those things, especially injuries, which is the reason that it's that way now. But between Jazeer Jackson last week and Michael Meany some this week, it was a rotation over there, and it settled down when Bo Hughley came in and did a really good job at the end of that game. So shout out to Georgia for keep plugging away to find out what was happening there. And it led to, I mean, look at these stats here. We have Gunnar Stockton, 23 of 31, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I'd said, I went and did the stats of Georgia's last 4 wins against Tennessee. 2 of those were Stetson Bennett. 2 of those were Carson Beck. On average, to win those games, and I picked the last 4 years because that's how long Josh Heupel has been there, the Georgia quarterback's performance needed to be something along the lines of 270 yards of offense, no turnovers. And I get that Puglisi had the Hail Mary interception, so I'm actually not counting that for this, though the stat sheets will say Georgia had the interception there. Gunnar technically did have the fumble. I'm putting that more on Monroe Freeling getting beat, and then also just what Georgia was dealing with at the right tackle in the plays before that. Overall, though, you look at this, Gunnar Stockton responsible for 342 yards of total offense when you account for his rushing as well, 3 touchdowns. On the road in the SEC, like y'all can have complaints about stuff, and I'm sure you will. Gunnar Stockton was awesome in this game. To make that pass, really first play of the game, the one to Colby Young, great. The one to I didn't think Georgia had a prayer by the time. I said Georgia would win, but then when they got to that 4th down, it just seemed so improbable in the 4th quarter that it would go to London Humphreys for a touchdown. And it did. And Gunnar Stockton was cool and he was calm. Not as much of a running threat in this game as I thought he might be eventually. But you could tell first drive at the second half, Georgia was really trying to establish the offensive run identity. I even made the joke, like, did they just have a death march at the beginning of the third quarter? Because that's what it felt like. They just ran down the field and worked to get in the end zone from there. That running game sputtered at times, but Nate Frazier came on a little bit late, had his best game of the season. At halftime, I was wondering, where's the Nate Frazier that we've heard about being the team leader, one of the best playmakers in the SEC? Where's he been for the first 3 games? And I think you started to see some glimpses of that confidence show up. You saw some good runs from Peanut. You saw Chauncey Bowens get a couple of in there. Josh McCray was an interesting one because he was Illinois' leading rusher last year. Had a really good bowl game against South Carolina. We had not seen much of him so far this season. He had an illness in fall camp that really cut some of his practice time short. But the reason that he was brought in is he's a bigger-bodied guy that will not get pushed back in short yardage situations. And this stat line is exactly why Georgia brought him in. 7 carries, 17 yards, 2 touchdowns. You need a hammer at the end, and that guy was able to do it, including at the end, having the strength on the lower half to keep his body up while he could stretch the ball out and get that touchdown that was reviewed. Georgia receiving. Look, this is Zachariah Branch is a big threat, and Colby Young as well. But the London Humphreys touchdown catch is the difference maker. Combine that with Zachariah Branch on that 2-point conversion. There's just so much offensively in that second half that I think Georgia fans can be super proud of. Maybe some red zone stuff you don't like, maybe some small decisions in the middle of the game. But honestly, as I get a little water here, I think what happened in the middle of that third quarter, Georgia came out and ran the ball down Tennessee's throat on that first drive of the third quarter. And so I think Georgia had the confidence of we can hammer and tong this throughout the rest of the game, until they stop us on this. And then that happened a little bit. And then Tennessee hits a couple big passes. If you're asking for my overreactions, I think it's a very positive overreaction for Georgia's offense that they're going to be able to compete in shootouts better than I thought they would be able to. I did not think this team was built for that. I thought Mike Bobo called an excellent game. Gunnar Stockton was very good, very, very good. And if you're looking for overreaction in other directions, to me, it's right tackle. Bo Hughley probably just gave himself the first chance at that if Ernest Green is not right. Other than that, corner, Georgia's corners should have cost them this game, and it seemed like they did for a while. Ellis Robinson early, Daniel Harris on that one in the second half. Georgia's cornerbacks I thought was going to be a strength for this team. That Daylen Everett, has NFL potential, especially early on. I like his projections for what the NFL has going for him. Daniel Harris, big-bodied guy, but you got to make the play on the ball there. And Screwball in the chat says, got to bench Daniel Harris. For who? So some of that is Ellis Robinson. Didn't look ready to me. Are we going to go DeMello Jones in there? I like DeMello. Think he's a great player. I don't know if at Tennessee is the time to figure out what's happening, for DeMello Jones at corner. I still think there's a ton of talent in that room. But, man, if it just didn't seem like that Tennessee could exploit some of Georgia's corners. And sometimes safety, too. There was a touchdown that it's K.J. Bolden that makes the wrong read and is in the incorrect spot. For the most part of the game, Janelle Aguero was great for Georgia. Probably the best game of his career. Some in the second half, he was in the wrong spot, got turned around, and Tennessee got some easy yards. He's not the best cover star kind of guy. But, look, in the SEC, you're going to have games like this. On the road in the SEC, you're going to have games like this. How do you find a way to win? And Georgia did that in about the most dramatic way as possible. That's a lot of me talking. Let me get to a couple in the chat here. And I see, we have Anthony Spano. I'll get him up here in just a moment. But I want to hear what you all have to say. Yeah, Chris says Ellis got abused and had to take him out. Yeah. Don't cut him out of the future. I still think there was a lot of potential with him. But early on, that was an issue. Chris also says we had critical mistakes, especially early. Yeah, some tough penalties there for Georgia that kept Tennessee drives alive. I kept saying with literally a perfect start for Joey Aguilar for Tennessee in that first quarter, literally perfect, that he was going to come down to earth a little bit. Like he's not that he's not. Otherwise, he'd be in the NFL at this point if he was that good. And I think we saw that come to pass too. David's still celebrating the wide right. Really wasn't even close either. Mitchell says right side of the offensive line was a disaster. Defensive line average. Yeah, I think there's some things on the defensive line to be excited about. And it's not going to be Georgia National Championship defensive line quality. That they don't have that on this team right now. But Xavier McLeod, I still think has a lot of potential there. Elijah Griffin. I like that after he got the penalty, lined up in the neutral zone, comes back and makes the next play. So look, if you're asking me what does Georgia have to fix, I'm going to say solidify right tackle and secondary. But I thought Georgia coaches did, for the most part, a good job of adjusting to some things on the fly in this game, both personnel-wise and then what Tennessee was doing. Steven says that Mike Bobo needs to put a little bit more on Gunnar Stockton. I don't know how much more you could put on him other than if you want him to throw 50 times, and I don't think that's his game. I think that would hurt Georgia in the long run. But he was explosive today and kept the ball safe. That's kind of the sweet spot. I don't think that Georgia wants to put Gunnar Stockton in charge of having to score 44 points a whole lot. Don't think that's going to be what Gunnar Stockton or what Kirby Smart is interested in that situation. I'm going to get Anthony Spano in here, and he can hang out and give us his take. Anthony, you're one of the regs on here, my friend. So I see you're decompressing a bit. I started to go find the Twitter gif of smoking the cigarette, after a wild night, and as LSU intercepts Florida in front of my eyes here. Your reactions to this game?
I actually, to be honest, I actually called Georgia losing this game. Yeah, which most Georgia fans probably would have. I haven't been impressed with Gunnar. Defense looked good against shitty competition and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that you can always count on with Kirby coach teams. They're not going to ever stop. And if they get a chance to have a chance to win, they're going to win. That's really how they do it, right, Dayne? They just don't win. They don't lose.
In a weird way, Anthony, it reminded me of the SEC championship. The scoring was all different, so it was on the opposite side of that kind of stuff.
I get it.
But just in terms of like how many things that Georgia had to overcome,
right?
And it wasn't injury-wise in this one,
right.
But still, when clutch plays had to be made, literally at the very brink of having access to even try again.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's funny because I knew Tennessee could score 20 on us today, but could we score 24? That was really what I was worried about. And I was at the golf course the whole time playing, watching, and I'm like, all right, well, Tennessee scores first. We always beat Tennessee if they score first. Yeah, blah 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 blah. And then they scored ahead. Like, all right, let's just get our head out of our ass, kind of thing. And then I'm driving home, and I pulled over 3 times in the fourth quarter, and I waved 2 cop car pulled up next to me, and he's like, "You all right?" And I was like, "I had an empty beer in my golf bag." That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just go ahead. I'm just watching."
Pause to make sure there's not incriminating evidence.
Yeah, I'm just watching the Georgia. I'm just watching the Georgia game. Is all I'm doing. Just watching the Georgia game. And so when the Gilbert was pacing side to side, I was like, our field goal kicker wouldn't do that. He'd be out there talking shit to everybody and going, I got to kick a game winner. That's what we're going to do. Tennessee is not built to win close games. Is what they're not built to win close games. So when they miss that field goal, I mean, 109,000 people were upset.
Well, and the false start
The
before
false start, do you think that really did something? I mean, he missed it by 1,000 yards right.
I understand, but
Yeah.
rhythm, timing, confidence,
But he drilled the same one in overtime.
Does it feel like a good operational machine when you? I mean, it changed. Heupel was going to run one more play to center it up.
He was going to run one more play. Yes, he
changed everything. He was like, "I'm not dealing with this anymore."
Yeah. And so he missed the field goal. That's fine. But when we got the call to go defense, Kirby already knew exactly what they were going to do, and he snuffed them out. He snuffed them out. And I know we're going to talk about the offensive line, the play calling by Mike Bobo. We only put up 500 yards against a shitty Tennessee defense. You know, we've all been critical. Everybody's critical of the offensive, the OC. Everybody's always critical. But if everybody does their job, then it's a good play, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I've never been a Mike Bobo supporter. I think he called a pretty good game tonight. We still got, like you said, we have got to get that right side of the offensive line fixed up. Because
that's as bad of a roster hole at the moment.
Yeah,
Ernest, if he's healthy, may change everything.
Losing Gaston and Green, and I get it. But how many total yards did we put up tonight on the road in SEC with a first-time starter in SEC competition?
502.
Okay, 502. How much did Tennessee put up?
496. It was that close.
That's really good. That's really good balance between a home team and an away team. The only thing that matters to me is the fact that they called that running play, that counter play, and everybody did their fucking job in overtime. And Frazier got all the way down to the 5, and Kirby said, "Let's take our 240-pound running back and punch it in their fucking mouth."
Literally why you bring him to Georgia for that moment.
That's the whole point.
On the team.
That's the whole point of it. That's it. And you know what? You win by 1, you win by 5, you win by 6. We walk out of Neyland Stadium with a dub. Everybody can bitch and moan all they want to. I'm okay with it. We put up 41 points on the road in our first SEC game with a first SEC starting quarterback with 85% of this roster not even knowing what Georgia football looked like on the road.
Oh, and by the way, as we talk about SEC life, Florida just went up 10-0 on LSU. Florida that lost to South Florida last week.
The U.S. the one that lost.
Oh, is it being called back? I think it may be a hold. Yeah. Okay. It was called back for holding.
Are they at Death Valley tonight? I don't even know.
Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Some people are asking in the chat, how do you join the conversation on here? There was a link in the bottom of the YouTube description. Go check that out.
It's on StreamYard. Just click that. Go through a couple stupid accept cookies and stuff like that.
Make sure you're not going to hack us or whatever. But it's mainly
you're not a bot. You're not a bot. Hey, look, Dayne, look. I know Paul's not here. I cut my hair.
Whoa! I wasn't going to say it. You know, I figured more aerodynamic for the golf game, right?
Well, it is, but I donate my hair to cancer patients every 2 years.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah. But I lost a bet to a 12-year-old, so I thought she was just going to put it in pigtails, but she said she wanted to give me a mohawk, and now I have to dye it.
What color?
She said, like I said, I lost a bet to a 12-year-old, so I have to dye it pink with electric blue undertones to it.
Wow.
But I can wear it, dude. Look at this olive skin. Look at that.
Yeah, you can rock that. I'm not worried about that.
I will. But all in all, I told my group chat that was texting me in the car and texting me on the golf course. They're like, "Oh my God, we're down. And then I saw Gunner driving, and I said, "We're winning this fucking game, dude."
I was feeling the same way. I was like, Georgia's playing too well offensively for on the road in this situation. And if you would have asked me pregame, I had more questions about offense than I did defense.
Yeah, because defense always travels. Yeah. That's the most points Tennessee's put up on us in how many? The last 3 years combined?
Yeah, I mean, they've struggled to put up 20 any given game.
And I don't and that's going to be something that's going to go, because we got to play Ole Miss and we got to do all that stuff. And they play a lot of the quick game, and they play a lot of the get up the line real fast, quick snap, stuff like that. But the fact that on that 2-minute drill after we scored and then we tied them up and we had 2:37 or something like that left to go in the game in regulation. Why are they playing such soft zone on the corners?
I think that Georgia was just not wanting to get beat behind them, and that's a strategy they used after midway through the first quarter.
Right.
And you didn't really see that change up until the third down pressure in overtime.
Yeah.
And I was so happy that Glenn Schumann went there with that.
Yeah. Well, I think Kirby won the battle, not just with them missing the field goal, but winning the coin toss, because he knew exactly what they were going to do. They only gained 2 yards in overtime before he kicked the field goal. So he did exactly what he wanted to do. And then he told Bobo, he said, "We're running the ball. And that's it. We're playing old man football." And it worked. But yeah, it's nice to have a 240-pound running back, but I'd really like to see a fullback like we used to have with Jalen Carter and all those guys back there. At least if it's not a lead blocker, it could be a leak out to catch a touchdown like Jalen did.
Yeah, and I don't know who that because even last year that was Chaz Chandler.
You know who could have been? Ethan Barbour.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he was doing some of that. And they may have some other guy. I thought about, is there a version where Elijah Griffin? Because I actually think he's probably talented enough to carry the ball too.
Yep.
But maybe
I thought the same thing. I thought the exact same thing. Yep.
Maybe I don't know that they would have trusted Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis as freshmen to do that a whole lot. So maybe that's something for future years.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the talent that he needs. He just needs to exploit it.
Yeah.
So. But
how do you feel about Georgia going into bye week and then Alabama after that?
I think next week is going to be the hardest practice any of these freshmen have ever seen in their life, because Bama has been Kirby's kryptonite. And I don't care if it's Kalen DeBoer, it could be Mike DeBose, it could be Shula, it could be anybody. He is not letting Bama come into Georgia. He's not letting Bama to come in to Sanford Stadium and beat him on his own turf. This is going to be the toughest week of practice I think they've ever seen. There's going to be a lot of people throwing up. As much as Georgia fans are throwing up, right? Tonight, high five. All Georgia fans, high five right now. Throw it up in the chat. We were all throwing up.
I don't know what happened. A button was hit somehow. I have.
But we were all throwing up. So
right then, you and I were just throwing up right now.
I did. I mean, that was what it was.
And I guess we got sensor driven somehow. But look, I think that there was going to be a lot of bad choices made because of this game by Georgia fans.
Yeah,
for maybe negative reasons.
Oh, 100%.
And now I think there's going to be a lot of bad choices for this game for the positive reasons.
I do too. You are who you are by the 6th game of the season, right, Dane? I mean, would you say halfway through the midpoint?
Historically, I would say yes.
Okay.
In this era of college football, when you're playing more young players than ever, and when depth is tested more than ever, I think there's a chance that you're a slightly different version of your team every week.
Yeah.
And I say that because Ohio State wasn't very good last year until they were great.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that Georgia can get in that realm. I mean, these transfer. Look, if London Humphreys is going to be making those plays, if we know what Branch can do, we know what Colby Young can do with this stable of running backs. I mean, this was not even like a heavy Cash game, and we've seen Cash have tremendous success, especially in the pass game. So,
and I think it's a quandary, right? You got Kirby's always been about take what is given, right? But if it's taken when it's given, and you don't do your job, everybody looks like a moron. And I know, we all know Bubba threw 1,000 screen passes last week. He's not setting anything up. He's trying to get players reps. He's trying to get players to do what they're supposed to do on the outside, the inside, and stuff like that.
He was trying to get the ball out of Gunner's hands because the right tackle kept falling over and there was no time.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought
I went back and watched it. I saw it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. The guys under Kirby, and I've been a Mark Richt guy my whole life. I think he's one of the best gentlemen in the history of the football game and stuff. But I have never, ever in my life seen a team never quit under a coaching staff at Georgia in my entire life like they do with Kirby.
Yeah. They
don't stop. You miss a play, fuck it. I don't care. We're going to the next play. That's it. That's the way. That's the only. How many games would you say that Kirby has won with just that kind of mentality? Over his 120 wins now? He's 120 and 19.
You could argue a season's worth.
It's ridiculous, man.
I mean, you're a Georgia fan. You're a Georgia fan. Is there a greater trait that you would want your team to have?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's remarkable that not only does he get the guys to buy in, but he doesn't have any drop off from that point of view. The old coaches used to say, I need you to do your job now, but I can't let you not do your job later.
Yeah.
And that was the way it was. That was the way it always was. You don't have a choice. And those guys know that. And it's remarkable to me. It is unbelievable for me to watch these guys. So,
well, I'm glad you had a good night. Let me get some other folks in here, Anthony.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sorry I kept everybody so much time. I'm sorry.
We had to know the hair situation. That was an important one.
Is that the only reason you let me come on first? It wasn't tucked in tonight, so it wasn't.
It's among the top 3. How about that?
Is that top 3? Okay. It's a foot shirt, so I mean, at least I did that.
But if I do an off-season golf overreaction show, I'll hit you up for that too.
All right. Oh, let's just go play golf together.
Hell yeah, I'm in.
All right. High five.
Cool. Let's do it.
We're a team. Everybody have a great night. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Best UGA content on the fucking planet. You guys are rocking and rolling, baby.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate you. Boss Man's here, has relocated. I was going to pop Hunter in here who looked like, okay, Hunter is back in here. And I think
working out, man.
Yeah, I think he's on an elliptical. I don't see a shirt. So there's a chance this is going to get.
Which is which?
Yeah, let's find out. Hunter, what's up?
Hey, yeah, I have my face up here so you didn't have to see my thing. But yeah, I got to admit, what a hell of a game. I mean, in reality, you got to give credit to where the hell Tennessee deserves. I mean, we thought when we did that fumble, right toward the end of the game, I was thinking, part of my language, son of a bitch, we're freaking through. Yeah, but honestly, so yeah, I'm an autistic boy that loves Georgia on football. I thought, why the hell, why not try and make stop by and say hello.
Yeah, so glad you did. Are we on a elliptical or treadmill? What are we doing?
Elliptical, brother.
Yeah, get your after game workout in. Your heart rate today is going to be through the roof.
Yeah. Now let me ask the both of you this: after watching the end of the game, do you think this gives Alabama any thought whatsoever? Okay, this is what we need to do to make ourselves better when we play Georgia. I mean, it's going to give them a lot of thought if you think about it.
Hell yes. They know exactly what to do. Target Georgia's other safeties, go after any linebacker in coverage, and attack the star spot. Throw it deep. Georgia will either not play the ball in the air or they'll get a pass interference call.
Exactly. And see, I tell my
Coach John said as much on the show.
You're not wrong. Coach John has said that, but too many penalties will cost you the game, and that's the given fact.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. In the first game, Georgia only had 2, and I've asked Kirby about this in the past when Georgia had a lot of penalties, and he'll come out and say, "Look, it's a fine line. If you have too few, then you're not trying hard enough. You're not pushing the edge. You're not pushing the limit. If you get too many, then you take your chances." And there were some stupid penalties that you'd rather have a penalty for over-aggression than stupid to kill a drive, because they are drive killers on offense. Get one on defense. They were drive extenders, as we saw. You had them put away, and you got a stupid call on third down because you're playing press coverage, and Ellis Robinson gets a drive extending penalty. That's like, look, that drive should have been over. So, yeah, that's it. So,
well,
right.
Anyways, before I head out, like, there's some more. Well, I don't want to name call or anything, but somebody asked, like, if I had a shirt or something, and someone asked if I was like walking up some stairs or something. Like, this one guy said, "Is this dude on a stairmaster?" I'm just chuckling, thinking it's funny. Like, yeah. And but
you're healthier than all of us, Hunter. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, all right. I'll just ignore those. But yeah, and Justin was saying, so, like, are we sure this is an elliptical? Yeah, it is, but that's besides the point. I just wanted to come on and just say
it's all love, Hunter. It's all love. Don't. Yeah, we're all good with that.
Yeah, the teasing on the show is wrong. It's rough. It's fun though. It's all love.
Yeah, but I get it. I get it. Absolutely. I just want to make sure there were no issues or anything.
No, you're good. And in fact, I'll tell you, if that field goal would have gone in, no one would say anything about it, because they'd be caught up in how did Georgia lose to Tennessee.
Yeah. We'll see you later.
Exactly. See. All right, brother. You take care.
Thanks, Hunter. That was fun.
You want to go home?
I can. Do you need me?
No, you can take off.
All right. I'm handing the show over to Radi. Y'all be kind to him. I will tell
Clark up next, and William, Carlin, and Tyler, and John. We had everybody. So,
well, I will tell them that you got a little bit of a lucky streak or something in you, because you sat in this chair that is just to my left, and that kicker comes out, and you said he's not going to make it. And it was the most confidence and resolve that I've seen you have in anything since maybe the last time you poured that bottle of bourbon back there.
Yeah,
that hunker.
Well, I'm just saying, dude. When he was on the sideline, he's like, this kid, this kid's nuts are in his chest. He is freaking out on the sideline. There's no way he makes it. Shankopotamus there. So, all right, Dane. We'll see you later.
Thanks, y'all.
All right, I got Trinity, William, Tyler, and John about to come on. First and foremost, though, let me add this on the stage. I want to mention our friends from Hunker Bourbon and Hunker Vodka. It is ASW Distillery. They are that is the award-winning distillery. They started out with making their bourbons. They won all these freaking awards, and then they decided to create a vodka that gives money to UGA, and then they created a bourbon that gives money to UGA. They are 5 of the 6 founders are Georgia grads. So even if their money wasn't going to the University of Georgia to pay for the Zachariah Branches of the world, the Colby Youngs of the world, all the NIL money they need, they would still be a bourbon company and a vodka company that you need to support. They're out at they have a tasting room out at the Battery at the Braves Park. They do special releases for the Braves. Chin music is phenomenal. That's if you can get your hand on a bottle of the Chin music, do it. It's their Fiddler that is the biggest award winner of all time for them. So please support our sponsors, support your fellow Bulldogs, and I really thank them for supporting us, because we get to drink. So, all right, well, I'm gonna bring on 2. I'm gonna bring on Trinity and William. If you're on your Stairmaster, that's fine. Go nuts.
Oh no, man, I'm just doing laundry.
Doing laundry, and we got William laid back in the chair. So,
Yes.
guys, give me your thoughts on this game. We'll start with you, Trinity.
Oh, well, I was about to give it to a William.
Okay.
But yeah, man, this was a fantastic game. And I'm actually more encouraged. Like I feel like Georgia has probably one of maybe top 5 most potential in college football this year, because this is Gunner's because we got a really new quarterback that hasn't had much experience like everybody else outside of maybe Ty Simpson. Like Gunner hasn't had the least amount of Gunner has had the least amount of actual football playing
Okay.
experience. So I came out really positive, but you mean like I'll just start right there.
Now let's real quick before we'll let William respond and give us his thoughts. Gunner, 23 of 31. That's pretty good, right? A couple
Yep.
drops in there. 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 1 giant set of brass balls. So I'm just going to tell you that. William, your thoughts, your opening statement.
What fun.
It's
Great
fun to
be a
win, but
Georgia Bulldog. I thought that everybody on the team made a mistake and everybody on the team redeemed themselves.
yeah. Hey, perfect summation.
And I had no doubt that poor number 90 was going to miss the field goal. Gilbert. Okay, here, did you catch that? Number 90 Gilbert on both teams?
Yeah.
Our number 90 Gilbert was stuffing folks in the backfield. Their number 90 Gilbert was missing field goals.
Well,
But-
I mean, 90 on Georgia's Griffin, right?
Yeah, Griffin. And 90 on Tennessee was Griffin.
Okay.
He was
You're
the
saying
field goal
Gilbert,
kicker.
so
He was the field goal kicker.
yeah, I got you.
But now that's that here or there. It was it's like I said, Kobe Young dropped the pass, made a big catch. Lone Humphrey dropped the first down pass.
Yeah. Dude, I wanted London pulled from the
Caught a
game.
touchdown pass.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I the whole time I really was not worried about winning the game. I was, it's like, but I never thought we got this, but I didn't have that sinking feeling we're done. And that's, kudos to the whole coaching staff. I was concerned that, after they come out in the second half and just drive it down their gut. And then the next 2 series, they go 3 and out, and
I didn't get that.
Look like
that
shit.
was but what a game. That's
Dude, I think you nailed it. That everybody had redemption. And that's why on that second field goal, I said that the Tennessee kicker, after he missed one, I said he'll make the next one in overtime. No question in my mind. But
yeah, they won't let
Micah
him in the
Morris-
lunchroom for a week, no doubt.
Yeah. Micah Morris, and I'll give a shout out to Mike Bobo for, some of those runs on second down. I get there's no pass protection, and some of that stuff drove me crazy. But that first call on overtime with Micah Morris pulling out, picking up the thing and 21 yards down the field for Nate Frazier, that was big. To your point, Dwight Phillips, Peanuts had a couple bad runs to start. Then he comes out start off the second half. Big pickup, like 8 yards, and then Frazier behind at 9, so back-to-back 17 yards. Everybody who screwed up, that maybe an offensive lineman or 2, kind of came back. Oscar Delp missed some blocks, but then he threw some major ones. Dylan Bell, likewise.
Okay, Dontrell Glover.
Dontrell had some whiffs, and he had some great plays.
I thought he was solid.
Yeah. But there was a couple times that the guards just got killed. Monroe Freeling just absolutely gave up a sack,
Oh gosh. Yeah.
But there were other times, again, if they needed something, they could go to his side. So
it was when they were down there, second and goal at the 8 or 9 and just got 8 up.
Yeah. So here's the thing. And I'll let Trinity, let me ask you this, and I'll get both of you on it. you saw they are capable of making big plays. They're capable of running the ball. They're capable of throwing it. They're capable of pass protection, capable of not. Defense, capable of stuffing the run, getting gashed, knocking down passes, getting blown up. 2 long touchdown passes just killed you. Can they put it all together?
I thought Evans got pushed down. I thought Evans got pushed down on that.
I did. I agreed. But later on, when London Humphrey pushed off a little bit, they didn't call that one. Not that he would have, but I thought the other one was more egregious. But I'm just saying it's
here and there. Yeah.
It's hit or miss. When it hits big. When it misses big. Georgia put up 502 yards of offense. Great day, right? They gave up 496 yards of offense. Bad day. My point is, and you got Alabama coming in a couple weeks. Last week we said the small things were not getting fixed. You know, there was a repeat of it. This week we saw those small things fixed, but then other things broke. Georgia is a badass team. They won on the road against a ranked team that was coming after you with everything. That crowd was sideways, and they won in overtime. They never gave up, as they were talking about a minute ago. Can you win a championship with a team like this?
Yes, you can.
Can you lose 3 games for a team like this?
Well, no, that's why I said I said that Georgia has the most potential.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're
this is and like this game was another building block.
Yeah.
And and that's Kirby, like that's the best thing about Kirby is that the teams usually get better over time because it's like he pretty much experiments each game until when the game really matters, which is the championship, like the championship games. And this is why I was like very encouraged. And I think with Gunner, I feel like Gunner will max out to be like a 60%, maybe 65% overall passer. Pass.
What was he tonight? 74?
Completing. I think he was like 20. Was he 23 over 30 something?
23 or 31. That is a 74%.
That's fantastic. And guess what? And he missed a couple good, like wide open like receivers, like that one on Branch.
He also had his face caved in from lack of pass pro.
Yes, and this what I'm saying is that like this team has so much potential, y'all, and like a lot of like the Georgia fan base should be like, hey guys, when it counts, which is later in the season, that's when we need to be a little bit more hypercritical. But this is early on, and we faced really great competition. Like from what I've seen, Tennessee is, I would say, top 8 team in the country. Because I don't know why, and I said this last stream, I don't know why people believe in Clemson. Like, what has Dabo done? What has Dabo done outside of 2 semi-generational quarterbacks in Deshaun Watson before?
Well, he did build those defensive fronts.
Oh, again, during those 2 back-to-back,
you can't take it away from him.
Did he build them? Venables build them.
You said what? Oh, you know what? That's right. Brent Venables, we gave a lot of credit. Like Brent Venables was kind of like what is it called?
Good.
He's a great defensive coordinator. And I was trying to make a comparison of like once he left. I'm trying to think of what like pretty much Brent Venables is kind of like when Urban Meyer left, and he was the offensive coordinator, and then once Ryan Day took over, like that's what I'm saying. That's the comparison, is that like Brent Venables is a great defensive coordinator, but you see what has Dabo Swinney done since losing his best defensive defensive person.
I mean, Brandon Streeter's here, so give him credit. I guess this is my point here from Hunter Hewitt. I'm assuming I was saying it right, Hunter. I apologize if I'm not. If Georgia were to play Ohio State in the national championship game tomorrow, does Georgia have the potential to win?
Yes, but anybody does. If they have a bad day.
I mean, everyone has a puncher's chance. I mean, can they line up with them, go toe-to-toe, stop Jeremiah Smith?
Well, look at Texas, y'all. Texas gave up a great fight, and you see Arch. He's boy. I don't know what the media has spent Arch to be the second coming, and he's just looking worse and worse.
Dude, I will tell you guys, and William has been around long enough that he can attest to this. The media doesn't know stuff. Doesn't know jack. I'm in the media, and there's not a lazier profession in the world. If we know a name, we will write it. You know, if a name gets us clicks, we will use it. And I'm not bagging on Arch Manning. I'm just saying.
Neither am I.
If the media hypes something up, you know, it's because
we're gonna bag on his ass when he comes to Athens.
I was saying, and then if somebody starts to fail, we love to write the story about how much they suck. So the Georgia offense doesn't look great in games 1 and 2, even though they did put up 40-something points in the first game. We were there to tear it down, and then after this game, we will say that Gunnar Stockton is the second coming of Peyton Manning. I mean, we will just, in other words, trust your eyes. Tyler, John, Sean, Jordan, I see you guys in the waiting section there. You know what you're seeing. Don't let the pundits color your vision of what you saw. And that's why I'm with you.
I think he's hurt. I think Arch Manning's good, but I think he has a shoulder injury. Like again, yes, it's just like you said, Roddy. This has been a snapshot, but I honestly feel like the media or Texas, they're doing a great job protecting Arch because no one has really talked about how he looks like every throw looks like it hurts him. He can't put zip on it. Like it's something wrong. And the people aren't really talking about it. But
Amari's got a good point. If you're going to face Ohio State, you don't have a right tackle. You don't have outside linebackers, and you only have one damn safety. I know they brought in 3, but you got one safety out there making plays.
That's what I wanted to ask you, right? Because I left a question in the chat when I watched the live reaction with y'all, and I wanted to ask Coach, who's going to be our starting right tackle? So I asked, is like Ernest Green time up starting, or is Bo Hewley or Uni going to get that
Ernest
spot?
Hurt. I mean, because when he was in there, Georgia looked completely different.
Yes.
All right. If this had been a 21-22 game, I'd have said okay.
Yeah.
But Tennessee's defense is no slackers.
They are not. But they were also without their two starting corners.
And we put 4,500 points on them. Yeah, we can put 4,500 points on Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
That's I say, yeah, we can beat Ohio State.
And it's a neutral field. Like a lot of people forget, it's not like Texas. Yeah. Texas could have won the game, and they played away. Just like Georgia, we played in Tennessee, and Tennessee pretty much sold out, and they still couldn't beat us. And we didn't have the greatest game. I felt like Tennessee played almost a perfect game for them. Like I give their game plan a solid A-. In Georgia, I feel like Georgia had a B.
I mean, I don't know how to understand it, but for them to come out and score 21 points in the first quarter and get shut out in the second quarter, that's what I couldn't understand.
It was just like the Bama game last year.
How in the hell?
Right, well, a lot of that had to do with dropping your linebackers back and switching zone. They're playing man on the edges, couldn't cover them in man. No support for your safeties are up. I mean, every crossing route was wide open, and they saw that and they took advantage of it. I'll give Aguilar all the credit in the world. He got him into the right plays and just torched Georgia's defense. And then, of course, you had one that Ellis Robinson falls down on this long 75-yard bomb.
Well,
that was
question, Roddy. Why can we never get our second cornerback right? It seems like every year with Kirby, we always have a standout start, like the our best corner, but our second is always shaky.
Because it's how many teams have 2 dominant corners?
You're right, but I feel like Kirby, I feel like
tough position, man.
Yeah, that's
why Kirby signs 10 of them a year.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just something. I mean, because we're just nitpicking. It's not like we're just nitpicking. But
no, yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Remember Humphreys last year?
You signed. Remember, Dayne Everett struggled when he was opposite Kamari Lassiter, so
And then he got
they
better.
They attacked the guy, but hell, Dayne Everett got picked on a little bit today. So William nailed it. Everybody who screwed up later on made a big play, or who was doing really well early on screwed up later. So it's I'm gonna put it this way: this was not Georgia's best game by a mile.
It was
capable of so much more.
It was a solid B.
It was great.
If they play to their potential, they could destroy anybody. My fear, though, is you see how badly they can play. So I'm happy, Georgia. You're winning. You went on the road in a stadium that was out for blood against a ranked team, against a guy who needed it more than you. They wanted it more than you. They needed it more than you. And you still beat them in their own house.
And this is why I said, guys, we should not worry too much. But Roddy, I have a question. Why did Kirby take out Gunner on the last play before halftime to throw like the Hail Mary?
For the
it
arm.
Wasn't that. I mean, it was like what, like a 50-yard?
Tell you that one. He's got the answer.
For the arm, man.
Arm.
Is Gunner's arm that weak? What I'm saying is, like, it was only a 50. It wasn't like.
His arm's not that weak, but Puglisi's arm is stronger.
Yes.
It's one play. If you have to throw it 50 yards and you don't want to punt it, you want to throw it. Because remember, their quarterback tossed one up like that, and it was basically a punt, and Georgia picked it off.
Yeah.
So Aguilar couldn't do it. So
that's my only kind of slight concern.
I need to bring the closest thing I got to a judge machine out here.
That's my only kind of a little concern. I was like, oh Lord, I hope they're not by the, how the media, the fan base. Oh, there's gonna QB controversy. Gunner can't go.
No.
Here's the thing: we will make. I'm telling you, the media will make a controversy simply to get clicks and things. So again, don't ignore the media, except for UGAsports.com, subdivision of on3.com.
Of course.
Hey guys, let me let y'all out of here and bring on Tyler and John.
All right, Will. All right, Roddy. Thank y'all.
Last thought, William. I let him talk before you there. So.
Oh no! It was a great game, fun game. I never doubted the dogs. I did not doubt the dogs.
You were a stronger man than I. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Be good.
All right, let me bring on Tyler.
Roddy, how you doing?
John, nice to meet you, Tyler.
Roddy, long time, first time. How you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. Hey, the Bulldogs won. It's an off week, and I don't have to hear how bad Gunner Stockton sucks for 2 weeks. So
Gunner was the reason why they were in the damn game tonight, Roddy. I'm drinking some brown water on the stomping of that ugly ass orange. I'm sorry about the cursing, but they damn deserve it.
Yeah, hey, we already been kicked off monetization a long time ago. It's okay.
Here's a question for you, Roddy. Has nothing to do with the game. Can we bring the POS show back to Apple Podcasts, please? I listen to this every week, and this is my favorite listen, and I've had to get on here to ask that question.
Yes, we can definitely do that. The issue is my guy Paul would always make sure that it hit Apple Podcasts, and I am too much of a slacker to be sure to do that. I loaded it last week on like Tuesday. It should be loaded Saturday night after it's done, because basically what you do is you download the audio and you take it to Apple Podcasts and you upload it. And I didn't do it, and I forgot completely. So my apologies, Tyler.
No, it's okay, Roddy. This is my favorite show of the week. I learn a lot on this show. I've got a few statements to make, and I just want to hear your talks. Gunner shut some damn people up this week. Gunner played tonight like he played against Notre Dame. He played much better than he played against Texas. Gunner, on the first drive, that fade ball to Colby Young, light me the hell up, man. That's a tone setter. People can shut the hell up saying Gunner's check down Jesus, because tonight he let that ball rip. Okay.
Well, did you like that one or the throw to Humphreys better?
I mean, listen, everybody and their mother is going to say the throw to Humphreys. It won the game, but that throw to Colby Young set the tone for the game. That said, we're not setting the bubble screens, even though we can only find Zachariah Branch on a bubble screen. It seemed tonight. That was the frustrating part. But Roddy, I'm drinking some. I'm not drinking ASW tonight. I'm drinking some Eagle Rare.
You're up.
Celebrating a good victory. The line of scrimmage on offense concerns me. Specifically, Monroe Freeling who everybody and their brother wants to call a first-round pick off traits, we got to pass block better. We use the excuse that he was hurt against Notre Dame. I get it. But tonight, I mean, maybe he's hurt for long term. But if he's hurt this long term, we got to figure somebody the hell out, because he was the weak link tonight. I'll be honest with you.
I will disagree with you. He did get burned one time. He got torched. But
everybody's going to remember
the right side to me was where everything fell apart. It was the right side. Michael Weenie out there couldn't do it. When Ernest Green was out there, they looked good. But Weenie was just getting absolutely destroyed. I mean, play after play after play.
He got killed.
Yeah, so finally they brought in Bo Hewley, and he did a much better job. But
I'm so confident in these last two offensive line classes. We've got some winners in there.
Yes, you do.
And that's got me. I mean, how many true freshmen line tonight? 3? Is that right?
I mean, you had Juan Gaston played, Dontrell Glover, and if need be, you put in Cortez Smith at center. So that's hitting on 3 guys that are just absolute ballers. So I'll take it.
They're killing it. They went into a hostile environment tonight against trash can, orange tonight, and they stole the soul out of that stadium. When London Humphreys caught that ball, Roddy, everybody and their brother wanted to run for the hills. They tried to run for the hills. Yeah. Go Dogs.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Tyler. That's some good comments there. I like it.
I'll listen to the rest on podcast. Go Dogs. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Tyler. All right, John, you're up.
I've buried myself alive. Just because I play with matches and don't get burned, does that mean I won't get burned the next time?
Fair.
Let me ask you a question. And again, maybe we've come to expect too much. You have a chance to go up 14 twice. Once inside their 30-yard line, and we ran the same play or the same concept 4 out of the 6 times. Why does he get a pass? Because we won?
Well, I mean, winning will get you a pass. That's okay. I mean,
so
I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just saying.
I know you're not.
If you lose, you do get the enema inspection. You know, they go right up your butt and tear you apart. But if you win, and the reason I'm saying this, there's a reason behind it. If I go into the press conference on, I think we'll only get to talk to Kirby once this week. But let's say it was a regular week and we get him on Monday. And I go, Kirby, your offense stuttered. You were inside the 2 trips in the red zone. You came away with 6 points. And this has happened before. Let's go back to week 2. What's going on? Your red zone offense is garbage. You called run plays on 2nd and 12, and they just get absolutely stuffed. Are you happy with your offensive coordinator? The first thing he's going to tell me is we won the game.
Yeah.
But if he lost, we'd actually get a little bit more of here's what needs to happen and stuff like that. So it is somewhat of a pass when they win. The offense puts up 40-something points. They score 500, or they pick up 502 yards. The defense, Kirby will say the defense has to do their. It's the same thing at Alabama. Remember that Georgia goes down, 28-0? And the offense comes back, but not enough. They lose. We're all mad at Mike Bobo, and Kirby Smart says the defense has to do their job. They got to get off the damn field. They can't give up 28 points because remember, he's a defensive guy. So I'm with you. I understand what you're saying, but that we can. I specifically asked Coach Donnan about this. I said, "Look, Coach, why after the cameras are off, like, Coach, why the 2nd and 12 run?" And he says, when you have no pass protection, you don't have time to tee up a good pass. They're coming after you, and you're hoping to catch them because they're expecting to throw it too. You're expecting to catch them in a scheme that's why you see guys run a quarterback draw on 3rd and 15 because everybody's expecting to throw it 20 yards, and they don't have enough hats to stop your guys. But then when they get tackled at the line of scrimmage because they couldn't even run block, then it's like, damn it, Mike. So I'm not trying to defend him. I don't care. I'm just I will tell you why Kirby won't be chewing him out on some of those run plays that left you scratching your head. You're like, what the hell are you doing? So
and that leads me to my next point. I don't think that the offensive line played any better as a whole than they did against Austin Peay. And again, I asked the same question, and I'm just it frustrates me to no end because it's not like it's not like we are Austin Peay. We've seen Monroe Freeling twice against good competition, and he did not play well. The right side of our line is horrible. So again, is it concepts? Do they not understand what the assignment? Not necessarily the assignments. Can he not teach them well? Does he have the wrong guys? Like, what is this? We're going on 2 years now almost, or a year and a half of the same thing over and over again.
Well, here's the thing: they know what their job is supposed to be. So conceptually, they know where they're supposed to go. If they don't, then you put somebody else in there. And there's a bunch of guys that we haven't seen, which means that in practice, they're not getting it.
Right.
So you're like, there's a perfect play, two different plays on those on second down when you're inside the 5. Back-to-back plays where the guard just gets absolutely destroyed or misses his block. Yeah. Dontrell Glover missed one, and again, I was giving him credit for having a good play. He down blocks instead of picking up the guy to his right. That guy comes back and drops you, and you wind up having to settle for a field goal. Okay, Dontrell's a freshman. Does he make that block later? You hope so. He will get better as the season progresses, as he progresses. But then when Monroe guy gets past him, it's like, well, guys get beat. And again, not trying to defend Monroe Freeling. I'm just saying there's the other 60 plays where he didn't get beat and he actually gives them some sort of pass protection. But if he has 2 losses, are you going to pull him for those 2 versus the 60 that he did right?
Right. I got you. It's just, again, the win is the win.
It's not a good answer.
Frustrating.
It's absolutely. I mean, I don't know how coaches don't pull out all their hair. I mean, you're like, and here's the thing: those 2 fouls, if you will, those 2 misses, cost you the game sometimes. And you're like, yeah, but he was good the other 60 times.
Yeah.
2 interceptions. Quarterback goes 35 of 40, but also throws 2 picks, and Georgia loses the game because of those 2 turnovers. You're like, well, yeah, he threw for 320 yards, but he also threw 2 interceptions, and so that's just football, man.
Well,
it sucks.
The good thing about all this too is a win, and like I said, good thing is a win, and they're not our natural. We won't see them again until 27. So they got to sit on.
I didn't think about that.
Right?
Yeah.
They gotta wait. They gotta wait to break the streak till 27 at least, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Unless we see them next year.
Oh, those poor bastards! Again, I forgot how bad they needed this one because it'll be a long time before they get a chance. So I'm with you there.
Yeah. Hey,
I like that Larry Glover says that Dontrell Glover, I wonder if they're related, says he did overall great. Again, and for a true freshman, that's awesome. And
sorry. And I do think, listen, it's very much PTSD. Like, we are very fortunate, and these are first world problems. But when you've been to the mountaintops so long, and we do have the best head coach in football, it's like you've seen so many times, 2010, 2013, and I loved Mark Richt, but it's a completely different animal now with what we have. And maybe we are spoiled, but you just feel like they could play better across the front on the offensive line at the University of Georgia.
They absolutely can, but the 2 guys who can get you there, when they came in that second quarter, and you had them side by side, the offense looked completely different. But when you had when you were platooning different bodies out there on that right side, they were bad. That's just, it is what it is. Again, it's because we know it's easy to bag on Mike Bobo, but the results matter. 500 yards, 40 points, and against a good defense. That's a very good defensive front. What was the strength of this Tennessee team? We said they got a good quarterback. They got good receivers on the edge. Their offensive line is questionable, but they have a strong defensive line. Rodney Garner knows his business, and he knows when you're suffering or when you get a weakness up there. There's a reason Rodney Garner's going to, college football Hall of Fame material. So he's going to attack you, and he did.
Yep. Well, I know you got a bunch of folks. Again, good win. A win is a win, and it'd be nice to be off next week and save our hearts.
Yeah. Hey, it'd be very interesting. This Alabama game is going to be wild.
I think.
Hi, John. I'll talk to you later. All right, let's bring on Sean Pendle and Jordan. Jordan, is it Jordan Couillard?
I've been called worse, Roddy. I'll take it.
How do you say your last name?
Technically it's Couillard if we're getting French, but it's
Couillard.
Couillard.
Couillard. My name is Couillard. You can be French all you want. And
No,
Sean,
I'd rather not.
I'm not even going to try, Sean. Is it Pendle?
Pendle, but close enough.
I was gonna say Pendle, but
All right, Sean and Jordan. All right, Sean, you were in line first. Let me give us your thoughts.
Well, I just want to start by saying, like, man, I've been frustrated all week from like the media standpoint of how bad we failed last week. Because I felt like we didn't even give up a touchdown. We had that at the end of the first half was very discouraging, being right there, not being able to get in the end zone. But overall, I felt like it wasn't that bad of a game. And then, seeing college game day, a lot of people, picking Tennessee, and which is mind-boggling. Huh?
How did the breakdown go at the end? I didn't watch College Game Day.
Well, it was two. It was 2-2. It was 2-2, but just the overall consensus, like not even counting this College Game Day, a lot of people was picking Tennessee, and I was just sitting back laughing because 8 in a row. It's got to stand for something, right? And we got a very young team. And it's the beginning of the season. We had a couple of people on here touch on it. Gunner, very young, very green still. And yes, he has been the check down king, but he's growing. He's seeing downfield a lot better. He's making the passes. Man, that fourth down, catching Humphreys in the corner of the end zone. Oh my God, like that's a championship type throw. And I feel like
the first pass to Colby Young down the sideline, which you like better?
Oh, end of the game. That's clutch performance. It's not even close.
That's like picking your favorite child, man.
Like I don't even see how it's a discussion because that's what makes winners. Moments like that, and getting wins like that, making throws like that, will only help you grow confidence-wise, and to be honest, I was more worried in the first quarter when they was just going down the field, effortlessly.
14 to 14 to start for Joey Aguilar.
But then when you see like the second quarter, third quarter, like it starts to become more of a coaching game, and
second quarter, the adjustments Georgia made on the defensive end.
Yes. And okay, go ahead.
No, my thing is like, all right, if he's going to go 14 for 14 every quarter, I like my chances. That was my thing. It's not going to happen quarter over quarter. And we were it was 21-7 by the end of the first, right? And then it was like, he's not going to go 14 for 14 every quarter. And we were moving the ball into the end of the first. So it's like, I'm not looking too much into that. But I thought that, yes, the first series I was a little surprised, but first game on the road, played some like lay downs on the first 2 weeks. It's like, okay, going on the road in that type of atmosphere, we got kicked in the teeth the first series, sure, but it was how we responded. Yeah, well, I'm talking about how we responded in that first series offensively. I would probably take that Colby Young play over the Humphrey play, just because of how the atmosphere, how we got kicked in the teeth first series, and to respond like that after what we saw the first 2 weeks, did not expect a Colby Young bomb. So the fact that it was executed,
I didn't expect it on the first play, but I'm like, they're going to throw deep.
No, should it have happened? Yes, should it have happened? Yes, but based on what we've seen, like if you're thinking about what we've seen the first 2 weeks, did you really expect it? Like, what gave you any signs of hope for that? But love the execution on it.
Here's the thing, I've been saying this all week. I've said it on ESPN. I said it on Cole Kubelik's show. Everywhere I did radio this week, they're like, Gunner this, Gunner. I'm like, I've been watching Gunner for 6 years. He loves to throw the ball. He doesn't like to do check downs or take a, but last week when they're playing 12 yards off of Colby Young,
Exactly.
as a QB, he knows to turn and throw to Colby Young.
Well, what pissed me off is they made a whole segment about the fact that it was like average of 5.xyz yards per. I'm like, shit. If you actually watch the film, you'll realize why it was. Like, of course, if they're burying people and like dropping them back into the backfield, then naturally you're not going to try to hold in the coverage.
No protection, so.
But he did miss a lot of downfield throws. Let's not get that misconstrued. There was open guys down the field that he wasn't seeing. He wasn't seeing, but now he's seeing better as time goes on. That's a fact.
But see, here's the thing: people say he didn't see him. Do we know that?
Well, we saw him open, and he wasn't.
That's a complete different question. That ain't
we saw him open from the camera hanging above the field, not from Gunner's eyes. Like, yeah, I agree, because there were some times I was screaming, like, Delp is wide open. What do we do? But we're talking about 6'1", not 15 feet in the air. So I do get your frustration, because I was saying the same thing. But I'm just saying, like, from his eyes.
I'm not arguing with you, Sean. I'm just saying it's really easy to sit there with a telestrator and point out that this guy was open. But they also don't point out that the safety that's covering the tight end, when he sees Gunner rolling to the opposite side, he stops covering because he runs up to be in, hey, he's keeping it. I need to go help. I need to swarm the ball. And he lets his man just take off down the field, knowing it's not going to be thrown to him. So sometimes the open man wasn't open when Gunner looked up, and he's like,
right. Okay. So I understand that. Yeah. And it's not frustration on my part because I'm looking at it from the positive standpoint of I feel like he's maturing. He's getting more confidence, as the games, continue.
This is the overreaction show. You can let some frustration out, brother. Like, come on.
Oh, no.
Don't apologize. Let it out. Let it.
No, there's no frustration on my part. I'm complete joy right now because.
Oh, me too. But
I mean, this is a celebration.
No, and remember, also they're like, "Oh, well, he's not looking downfield." Well, hell, he's getting his head kicked in because he's got no ground protection.
Yeah, but you know what though? When you're down 21-7, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna hand the ball off? I mean, shit. Like you have to look downfield. It's not like it's not the O-line's fault that the defense just got their teeth kicked in either. So it's like, yeah, the O-line's not necessarily a strength, but at the same time, it's like. The so-called strength is getting punched in their mouth on the road first time, and you got some guy that led the nation in interceptions, just picking you apart like 14 for 14. I was like, but at the same time, I wasn't worried because I'm like, no shot. This dude goes. If you're gonna throw a bomb, and it's not like yes, Ellis Robinson got beat. Should he have tackled the guy instead of letting him catch it? Sure, but it's like. If they're going to beat us throwing those lollipops, I'll tip my cap and walk on to the next game. But once they start throwing those, and I'm like, if that's how they got to beat us, tip your cap, move on. But I don't see them beating us by throwing those lollipops. And I just think that, yes, our defense get tested, sure, but I also think that you can't blame the O-line for putting us in the position. Like, we're not a shootout type of offense, I don't think.
Never been really,
but the fact that we clap back at them for a shootout type of offense, and for us not being one, I'm okay with what happened.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna stress drink, but here I am.
I think you can be. And Georgia can score quickly. They ran the ball.
But, hey, Roddy,
they can throw it downfield. I'm fine with them. I think they
but
can.
What happened? Like, why did one?
But you got to have an offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, but why did one disappear until a 2-point conversion? Like, what the hell? Like, that's your electric stick you're just holding, and he was irrelevant until the 2-point conversion.
That's the stuff I don't understand. That's the rotation in 10 years at running back and wide receiver with Kirby Smart is still. I'm flummoxed.
Yeah.
Guy picks up 20 yards on a carry, yank his ass out.
Yeah,
Guy
it's
catches
like,
a
okay.
tight end catches a 11-yard pass, yank his ass out. I'm like, they're not that tired. And then you put a new guy in, and he picks up nothing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you see Dub get tackled twice, by the
great
way.
fresh legs. That didn't work,
Yeah. You see
Did I
Dub get
miss?
tackled twice?
Did I miss something, or did they just leave Branch like wide open for that 2-point conversion? Like, how was he not double teamed,
That was a
Nah,
great play.
little
that's
slant
just
outright?
that's just
Like,
honestly, that was back where like when AD Mitchell was there. That was an AD Mitchell, but a quicker version of him. That like AD Mitchell was good at that route, but you put a quicker, faster, like everything better version of him, just shorter. It's just like you can't stop that, and I'm glad that we did that.
Yeah.
no,
I still
I'm
don't
glad we did
understand,
it, but they could have covered
but
it way better, or
no, for
tried
sure.
to at least.
But what pisses me off is the fact that we still don't use 6'6", 6'7", 6'4", two receivers, a tight end, and just lob it up. Like there's no lob. Like the one pass we threw to Colby in the end zone was like on the run, didn't put it in the air enough. Like it's like you can't teach height. Why aren't we just throwing it up to these boys? Like that kills me. And then I do love, like, honestly, I was looking at my wife. I was like, who's 2 in the game this early? Josh McCray. I was like, yeah, let's feed the big man. Like,
That
the
big
fact
man,
that-
hey, he 2 touchdowns. I think we learned last week. Well, I should say we learned last week when Georgia got down against into the goal line at the end of the half. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Why didn't you just run it 4 times?" Like, you didn't have time. You had 27 seconds, so you
Yeah.
had to throw it. Because if somebody runs up there and doesn't get in, then you're going to have those guys laying down across your offensive lineman, not letting them get up, and you run out of time. And then you're going to be yelled at for bad clock management. Why didn't you throw it? Why'd you run it? You didn't have enough time. So it's a catch-22. This week, when they had time, what did they do? They hammer and tonged Josh McCray to the breaking point. They did it twice. That's why you brought him in here.
Fullback.
And he walks away absolute winner, game ball, Josh McCray.
Falling forward every play. And it's just like our goal line offense, though, is dookie. And I don't care how you got to write it up. Like right now, it's like after what you got out of Josh McCray today, it's like that should be no questions asked. Like that should be your guy as far as toting the rock.
I don't want to give it to him on Georgia's 1st and 10 on the 25.
No, but I'm talking. I said goal line, right? I mean, I'm like,
I'm with you. Hey, goal line.
He's falling forward. He's 240. He's not getting knocked backwards.
I'm with you. I'm like, hey, let's stop trying to do fancy, cute things with Peanut. Don't try to get Frazier in there.
Yeah.
It's like, but you think he transferred here? He's behind 3 other guys.
Well, that's what I told my wife. I was like,
give him his
transfer here to sit.
He was a leading rusher.
That's what I said.
Take away all his snaps. At least give him touchdowns.
That's what I said. I was like, he didn't transfer here to play 5th string, babe. Like, give the man the rock. So was his health thing an actual issue, or is that a decoy?
Can't talk about that.
Yeah, there we go. That's the answer I need. You answered the question without answering it, Roddy.
There's some things that I know that we're not going to talk about.
No, that's fair. But, I mean, he looked like the guy I expected when I saw him commit. I mean, we'll leave it at that. But it's like, that's the guy I expected.
He is who we expected, and he's there now. It took him a little while to catch up, but he's lights out. And I thought that Nate Frazier, that 21-yard run, that
was elite.
Sony in overtime.
Can we talk about the poor ass blocking by Gunner out on the wing? Like, dear Lord, can we get the man in some blocking? The dude got pummeled by a corner.
All he got to do is get away, baby, and that's what he did.
The fact that he stood up and said, I said, oh yeah, he's gonna be hearing about that.
I got a question.
Okay.
I got a question. How big do y'all think that 5-yard penalty, the last few seconds, came into play for that kick? Because I think that might have been one of the biggest blunders for them the whole game. I haven't heard anybody talk about yet.
If there'd been like a holding call or personal foul or hands to the face or something like that, 15-yarder. Because again, remember, they had just picked up a 4-yard. You thought that they were going to line up the kick, that you expected Joey Aguilar to take the ball, quarterback keeper put it exactly where the other guy wanted. He turns around, hands it off. They pick up another 4 yards. Now it's freaking chip shot.
Yep.
But all of a sudden, got to back him up. And 5 yards. Now, granted, it was a shank. I mean, it wasn't close. But everything had been going your way. And again, you look on the go back and watch the video. They have it on this kid. And they put up a little thing on the screen. He's never had like a game-winning kick.
And you saw his eyes. You saw it in his eyes.
Dookie in his pants. He was
my God.
terrified. I've never seen a kid more nervous. And so the minute he lined up, I'm like, he is not going to make this.
Yeah.
I called that one from 100 miles away.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Like, man, this dude does not have it in him, man. He doesn't. Not yet.
He looked as nervous as Paul Maharry the first time he touched a boob. I mean, he just
hey, don't talk about Paul like that, Radi. All right, I'm going to stand up for my boy.
We got Paul, Eddie, JC, and Michael in the
shit, don't get me on
room. So I got to make fun of Paul. Now,
all right. But I want to make sure that Jonell, only guy in the secondary that was showing up to me.
He did. He played lights out. He also had a couple busts.
He also had a couple what?
He had a couple busts. He had a couple mistakes.
Yeah, but I think the plays that he made when it mattered,
he did.
I think offset that because
the second quarter, he second and hell third too. I mean, there's a green out there. So I'm with you, Jonell. Huge plays there. He was all over the place. But again, everybody had misses and everybody had redemption. And this game is I'll end with this, guys. I just asked this on Twitter. What was the most gut-wrenching play? Let me rephrase this. Which was the most gut-wrenching overtime loss for Georgia's opponent? Georgia Tech, 8 games or 8 overtimes, or Tennessee to give up 9 in a row?
Georgia Tech all day.
Yeah.
Not even a question for me.
I agree.
The way Key, the fact that Brent Key probably still loses sleep, but congrats to him, by the way. But the fact that he still loses sleep, I guarantee over that loss, that one meant more to me. I probably lost sleep over that one more than this one.
I'm with you there. Remember what they were up by? 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter? I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where I was texting my Georgia. I mean, I'm from Georgia, so I naturally have like Georgia Tech's people that I don't call friends, but that I'm like, when you're neighbors with them, you don't like, not friends with them, they're just neighbors. So I texted them, I was like, hey, look, finally, y'all got it done. And then I had to wait a day or two before I texted them after the
Hey,
kudos to Tech today, though.
Point comeback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do that. That play. Did you watch the end of the Tech game?
Yeah.
I missed that.
They like no timeouts left. Like Haynes King just ran up the middle with like 19 seconds left, and then they just didn't get a first down. Not that would have really helped that much. And then they just like sprinted their kicker out for a career-long kick, and it's like
they're like 54, 55 yards.
All right, well, do what you do, bud.
All right, Sean, Jordan, I'm going to let you guys go.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, Steven.
See you guys. Sean and Jordan, both great guys to have on the show. Always love having them. I got Eddie from Ackworth coming up and JC as well. Before I get there, though, I do have to mention our friends at the Rogue Shop. The Rogue Shop, they make fantastic gummies and tinctures. They have one for your pets. I have a dog that I spend most of my time working with this dog between my knees. I sit on the couch sometimes, put the leg lift thing up, and she hops up, and I put the laptop half on my thigh, half on her ass, and we work together. So, but she's getting old, and when she has some arthritis, I have the pet tincture that I get for her. A couple drops make her very happy. So they have a bunch of them. I'm big on the 1,000 milligram CBD pet elixir. It's only $29.99. If you use promo code Bulldogs10, you get 10% off on that. So big fan of the pet elixir. Also, if you have trouble sleeping, like I've developed this new issue where I can't sleep, the microdoses of the Delta 9 gummy are I am a much happier cat because I can sleep now thanks to the Delta 9 gummies. I highly recommend grabbing some of those. Remember, use promo code Bulldogs10 to get 10% off your order. My best friend Cheryl she is a 2-decade insomniac. She does the Delta 8 sleep medicine, and she is finally sleeping through the night or going to bed and actually falling asleep for the first time in 2 decades. Started about 3 years ago. She's been on this stuff, and it makes her life fantastic. So check out our friends at the Rogue Shop. And again, use that promo code Bulldogs10. You get 10% off, but it also lets them know that you were referred to them by us. If you just buy it and pay full price, she's like, hey, I like Richard, and I want to be sure he makes as much money as possible, and I love what they do. That doesn't really let them know that they heard about it from UGA Sports. So Bulldogs 10 to get 10% off your order. All right. Got Eddie and JC. We'll go with Eddie because he's the oldest man and, age before beauty. And we'll let him give his thoughts on the game. I guarantee you there's not a more relieved person probably in the whole chat than Eddie after that. He figured Georgia lost after the first 2 drives. I can tell you he was in a dark place, but he's probably happy now.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Are you done reading my mind?
Yes.
No. Yeah. Hello, Roddy. Hello, JC. Good evening.
What's up?
How about them effing dogs? First of all, let me say this. I've been hearing that Georgia can't win in a shootout against Tennessee for 8 years now. I've been hearing that. How'd that go?
That is a good point.
We won in a shootout today. That's what happened. Okay. 9 in a row. And by the way, Roddy, how you open this, completely wrong. I went in, JC will note this because I texted you guys. I said, I'm completely at ease with what happened in that first half. I felt good about it. Yeah, it was not a good feeling, but everything that Tennessee did was almost perfect. It was almost like that Bama game. And we went into halftime down, 4 points? I don't even remember what it was.
17-21.
Right. Okay. I felt fine because they did everything right and we did everything wrong. And we were still in the football game. Now, I thought Gunnar Stockton played well enough to win us a championship. He proved today he can throw the ball downfield. That throw he made to put us within 2 right before the 2-point conversion was in a bucket. That was a perfect throw and a great catch, by the way, on the other end. I mean, he had dropped a couple previous to that. I didn't know that he caught it. He got his knee in bounds. That was incredible. And that's what a winner does. He gets you down the football field in a high-pressure situation on the road. Tennessee, by the way, Tennessee is still in the game, and their crowd is going berserk. And he marched us down the field and tied that football game. Tons of credit to Gunnar Stockton. I thought he played phenomenally well. So I'm gonna let JC talk because we're gonna get to the negative. I'll get to that in a minute. But I mean, 9 in a row against these bastards. I mean, Kirby Smart's walking off the field going with his tongue. I mean, have you seen that clip yet, Roddy?
Yeah, I tweeted out. That's our Catherine Skeen. She shot that.
Oh my God. It's just he owns this team, and I love beating these bastards. And one more thing, that is a devastating loss. Absolutely devastating. And you said earlier, you were talking about the Tech game last year. I think this win is more important than beating Tech last year. You don't want to lose to Tech. I get it. But this win with our gauntlet coming up, going into to get to the playoffs is brutal. And I was thinking to myself, 4 or 5 losses if we lose this game. We're in a great position right now. Go ahead, JC.
And Roddy, can you pull Paul in? He's texting me nonstop saying you better 4-box this thing right now.
He's just bitching.
Yeah.
No, go, JC. I want to hear you before he comes on.
All right.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Oh, there he is.
Mute him. You better mute him. Let JC talk.
So 2 things. After I agree with everything that Eddie said, but Kirby Smart teams are just so damn mentally tough. I've been a Georgia fan long enough to see this game get away from us quick or we melt down and don't win it. Yeah. Only Kirby Smart. I mean, his teams, even when we're down, just somehow scratch and claw, get their way back into it. But those 2 drives after the touchdown in the second half, he called those plays. And I'm going to say Bobo, or not Bobo called the plays, but that's Kirby. That's Kirby's offense. He called those plays like his defense had taken over the game. and he was wrong. He got fooled. In his defense, we had 5 straight stops, 2 turnovers on Tennessee. So he thought, let's just deflate the ball just like we did in 2022, and came back to bite us. And thank God for Gunner. Gunner saved the day. He saved Kirby from a really bad call, and this game being pointed on him, I think, as the blame and the number one reason why we would have lost.
I think you nailed it. This is why I get accused of defending Mike Bobo a lot, and it drives me crazy because I'm like, I'm not. It's a hierarchy to me. Okay, wide receiver doesn't catch the ball. Let's talk London Humphreys. There was one that I thought he should have caught. He doesn't haul it in. Either Lawson Lucky or Oscar Delp misses one on the edge, kind of goes through his hands. I'm like, you should have had that one. Okay, do we go after the Todd Hartley? Do we go after James Coley? Do we go after the position coach? No, we're like, we just skip right past them. We go straight to the offensive coordinator. It's his fault. I'm like, well, he's not the one teaching him to catch. He's working, the whole thing. But they're like, well, ultimate authority on the offense rests with him. I'm like, well, no. We can also go to the head coach who tells him what type of plays, the game plan. Somebody made a comment earlier on saying it's the game plan that Kirby wants. He is very conservative. When he gets something like that, he likes to, like you say, deflate the ball. Let's stop throwing it deep. Let's lean on the run. He can override any play that is called. He's on the headset. He knows what's being said. And then I'm like, well, but we don't want to say anything bad about Kirby, so we stop there. We don't go and start criticizing Kirby. But I'm like, hell, we could go straight on to Josh Brooks. We can go to Jared Moria. We can go in other words, people are picking how far up the chart or how the organizational chart they want to go, and they have a punching bag that they like to lean on. I'm like, dude, if you're not blocking on the offensive line, people want to bitch about Mike Bobo. I'm like, that's your offensive line coach. Who hired that offensive line coach? Kirby Smart. Who's letting Kirby do that? Josh Brooks. But who missed? The offensive line guy. To me, the easiest way is to go down. Who missed the pass? Who missed the block? Who missed the tackle? I'm like, it's just, I don't know, it's just simple. It's Occam's razor to me. I don't have to work my way, figure out an agenda and start banging on somebody. So I'm with you there. Kirby comes off the field. He's excited, but you also have to give him all the credit in the world. Like you said, that team should have quit. That team should have said, "You're going to kick a field goal and win it."
Yeah.
But the minute they missed a field goal, Kirby was like, "We got 8 seconds left. Let's plan this out." It's like those guys are on the sideline. They're ready to go. They don't think they're going to lose. And I'm with you. I've been covering this team 32 years, and under the Mark Richt era, that team's beat after the first quarter.
Hell yeah.
And don't get me wrong, you had Aaron Murray's and Jordan Jenkinses and all these guys who would, David Andrews, they're going to fight to the dying breath, but you got to have 22 of them. Kirby's got 44 killers who think that even though I messed up, Colby Young messes up, they go right back to him.
Yep.
Peanut goes the wrong way, then picks up 9 yards the next time he gets the ball. I'm like, and I'm just, even Paul's a fighter. Paul will tell you when people make fun of him for being called Pinky, but he grew up in a tough neighborhood, and when he got beat up, he'd stand up and come right back at him. So he's like,
I don't know if I ever got beat up.
You ain't gonna keep him down. And hell, I gave up, but this team didn't. So shout out. That's a team that can win anything. They can lose anything, as we saw tonight, but they can win anything. Paul.
This team, how about them dogs, man? All right.
Yeah.
I ain't employed by UJ Sports anymore, so I can say that. How about them dogs? All right. So second off, I've had a couple people, I don't know, Roddy. I had a couple people message me on my private Facebook and ask me, why am I not on the show anymore? There's no bad beef between Roddy and I. I stepped away myself. James, he just wasn't painting enough. No, I stepped away myself. So get that out of the air. There's no bad beef here. Third thing, defensive secondary is garbage.
Oof.
Trash. It's almost as bad as I've seen under the Kirby Smart era.
Yeah. It was bad last year too.
It's bad. Ellis Robinson, second ranked player behind Jeremiah Smith, 2 years ago. Didn't have it. They put Daniel Harris out there. Didn't have it. Chris Brazil had a field day against Georgia. Okay. With that being said, these dogs somehow persevered. The penalty at the end of the game, at the end of the fourth quarter, I think rings heavily for the simple fact that yes, it's 5 yards, sure, and I think he probably would have missed that kick had it been 5 yards closer. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's in his head, right?
Yeah,
And they moved him back,
doubt.
and it's all mental. We saw with the Falcons last year, or excuse me, last week with Young Hoku. It's all mental. And it was a mental breakdown from Josh Heupel and his whole organization to decide to go out there and try to run another play. That was a terrible decision. They could have walked away with this game. The other thing, Gunnar Stockton, and I've said it before, and I will change my tone. I did not think Gunnar Stockton could take this team. I just didn't. I've been saying it all week, all year. A Gunnar Stockton led football team would not take you to the promised land. This dude is different. He didn't give up. His offensive line on the right side, something has to be figured out on this bye week before Bama, because Bama is a better team than Tennessee. Yes, granted, you are at home, and that helps, but Bama is a better team than Tennessee. And if you're not able to shore up that right side of the offensive line, you will get beat. And it's just the bottom line. They rotated 3 right tackles in Roddy. They finally rotated. They rotated Michael. I'm not going to say his last name. You can't. And then they rotated Bo Hewley in finally there at the last second to help save the day. But I'm telling you right now, it was a football game where, if you're watching it as a fan, is one of the best football games because you didn't blow them out. You were in the game the entire time, and they missed the field goal. And you knew when they missed the field goal that you were going to win the game. And handing the ball off to Nate Frazier right there, very, like you said, Roddy, Sony Michel-esque in the Rose Bowl. But this team had let's as much excitement that we have, let's not get away from this team's secondary and right side of the offensive line has big issues.
Paul, let me ask you a question. Do we win this game with Carson Beck as our quarterback?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that throw by
no.
That throw by Gunnar Stockton on 4th down took some damn stones, man.
Yeah.
And that catch by London Humphreys to go back to London Humphreys after he dropped the pass on you already took stones as well. I mean,
but I think Gunnar makes plays with his legs that Carson would have never made today. That keeps things alive.
Sure,
right?
Sure, but you can also
he ran it 3 times.
You can also look at it from the other side and say Carson's arm is a little bit better than Gunner's, and he could have done some things that Gunnar couldn't do.
Right.
Probably not. If we're being, if you're putting me on the spot and saying yes or no, probably not. Gunner's not going to win, or excuse me, Carson's not going to win this game. But I'm also 10 16-ounce Coors Lights deep right now. So I mean, I'm pretty happy.
Well, you should be on both ends.
Yeah.
Well, I think
where's the evidence Bama's better than Tennessee? Just look at the team, KC. Look at the overall team. The team is better than Tennessee.
Hey, somebody mentioned Georgia better be ready for Ryan Williams.
Yeah, but also the last 100-yard game Ryan Williams had was against Georgia. He hasn't had one since then. And also remember,
today.
Guess what? He's 18 years old now, though, guys. He's not 17 anymore. Okay. He's 18. Okay, let's not let that slide.
Omar makes a good point about the idea if Beck was your quarterback today.
Right.
Beck can't move. He's not a great runner, and
That's
Carson.
why I asked.
But that
right side caving in would have messed him up pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Let's not
put it down the field.
Let's not also act like we weren't that we were all super confident in Gunnar after Marshall and Austin Peay. Let's not do that.
No, nobody's saying that.
Me and Eddie didn't give up.
Yeah, Eddie might not have, but there's many that gave up on Gunnar Stockton after the first 2 games. He showed his worth in this game tremendously. He's got a level head, and he is the quarterback for Georgia moving forward. Also,
he does not turn the ball over.
Right.
That's huge.
And we don't run for 200 yards without him at quarterback. The QB power going into this offense has completely changed our running game. We couldn't run the ball with Carson. Guys are crashing.
And to Donna Sparks Williams' comment right there, Roddy, I don't have control there. Said never entered my mind that Georgia wouldn't win. That when Georgia was down, right? Tennessee was running through you like a damn quick trip hot dog. It was through you and down. It was over. Joey Aguilar looked like a damn Heisman. Okay. And Georgia battled back and was able to get back in this game. And look, as much as Eddie said last week, and he said this on his post-game show, he said this on the PSPH, excuse me. He said, look, JC, I'm trying, all right?
This guy leaves the show for 5 minutes and forgets the name.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Look, I just got
the letters.
I just got American Deli delivered. I got American Deli delivered. I got
Get to your point.
Philly over there. But what Eddie said last week was you got to forget this game, right, and move forward. This is one of those games that you have to forget.
Yeah,
you got out of Tennessee with a win and move forward. That's it. You just have to forget it, because if you don't, you can dwell on all the negative stuff, but at the same time, this team battled the edge. Where was the edge? Where was Quintavious Johnson on some of those plays? God bless him. I don't.
Where was Chris Cole on the edge?
Sure, another name. Where was the edge?
They
on some of those?
worked to have Gabe Harris and Justin Williams come in, but the problem was you got to get them. They're going to spread you out first, then they're going to go to their RPO, basically their formation. And if you can get them out of that formation, Georgia teed off on them, but they were in it because they were kicking ass so well with that. And it's not like he sat back there a lot of times and just, allowed them to come through. He got rid of it fast, or they would set up for a run. Aguilar is good. In my column this week, I said he might be a Stetson Bennett-esque type guy. 24 years old, got better and better as he progressed. Today,
is Tennessee
really good.
Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Those two. Hold on. Let's slow down now.
No,
okay?
Joey, don't slow down. Don't slow down. Don't slow down.
No, I'm going to slow you both down, all you guys. The defensive backs, not good. I agree with you. But come on, those 2 touchdowns, those were balls up for grabs. Okay, those were
necessarily.
Not like those were not Gunner Stockton throws in a bucket. Those were just up for grabs. And the
did they score touchdowns?
One pushed off. I'm not taking anything away there, Rod.
When have you seen Gunner Stockton throw it in a bucket besides the bucket to London Humphreys in the first play of this game?
Okay, so Gunner Stockton just throw the ball up for grabs, and our guy can push off, make a
play. Joey Aguilar
zone.
Didn't throw it up for grabs. Look,
yes, he did. Both of those were up for grabs.
Okay.
He threw for 371 yards.
I'm not taking away from that, but those 2 touchdowns were like. Yeah, those 2 touchdowns I will take away from.
It wasn't in its perfect spot. You don't throw for 371 yards against a Kirby Smart defense.
Correct.
Not be a pretty badass QB.
Correct.
He's
Correct.
good.
Yeah,
and
he's good.
Gotten better. He's not the same kid that he was before.
Let me ask you 3 this. Is Tennessee a playoff team? 12-team playoff. Is Tennessee a playoff team?
I think it's too early to tell.
No, you can't. Don't bullshit me out of this. Is Tennessee a playoff team? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are.
JC, I know you're over there in Cali on that Cali stuff. Is Tennessee a playoff team?
They're fringe, but I can see.
Yeah, I'm kind of with JC on this.
Give me an answer.
Fringe too. I'd like to look at. Okay, no, they're not. You happy now? I just gave you an answer.
No.
Okay. I think they're a playoff team. I think Tennessee's a playoff team. And you went into
Wait a minute. Hold on. So they have UAB win, Mississippi State, probably a win, Arkansas, I don't know, Alabama, Kentucky, Oklahoma, New Mexico State, Florida, and Vanderbilt.
So they have they have maybe one more
3 losses in there.
They have maybe one more loss on that schedule. They have maybe one more loss. A two loss SEC team makes the playoffs.
Well, you're just giving them you're just like they've got one more loss and that's it.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
I think they got one more loss.
Oklahoma,
they're without 2 cornerbacks and David Sanders.
Exactly. And by the way, let's not just gloss over.
And they put
you
up
don't
41
think this
against
win
Georgia.
carries over, Paul? This loss is going to carry over. This is a horrible loss. This is a devastating loss.
Okay. So what I'm arguing is that Tennessee's a good team. Are you arguing Tennessee's not a good team and that Georgia actually wasn't that good?
You didn't ask that. You asked if they're a playoff team, and I said no. I didn't say they weren't a good team. You could be
They're
a good
top
team.
15 team.
Yes.
So are they? So are they? So was this a good win for Georgia, or do we blow this off?
A win is a win. I don't care. It's the SEC on the road.
So now you don't care about the style, but before you were worried about the style of the long passes. But now now it's only the end results that matter.
Correct. That's what I'm getting at. Thank you, Roddy.
What have I just been owned there? Do I need to just log off the show now? I mean,
you've been owned. You can stick around and I'll continue to make fun of you. No.
Yeah, I know. I came on and get started.
Let's go back to the original point. The original point was Aguilar had a hell of a game. You throw for almost 400 yards against the Georgia defense, 4 TDs. That's a good day. I thought that this was a kid who had matured into a pretty good quarterback. He did what he was supposed to do. But the more Stetson Bennett-esque player tonight was Gunnar Stockton. Moving with his legs, making crazy throws, never giving up, dragging his team with no right side protection across the damn finish line. That was he willed them to a damn win. Now, again, they could lose next week. They could lose a bunch of games, but they'll always have just like Joe Cox has. He has a game against Arkansas.
Dear God, we're bringing up Joe Cox.
I'm just saying, everybody's got their one. This was a huge win for Gunnar Stockton, no matter what happens. And as Eddie says, this is going to hurt Tennessee's confidence. You got to think that Gunnar is, coming back to Georgia, the weight of the world off his shoulders. He did it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next week against Alabama, you were like, they got some issues. How am I going to torch those sons of bitches? I'm not going to be the one that finally has a home loss. Georgia, we haven't lost a game at home since 2019. It ain't going to be on my watch, damn it. So
we give a shout out to somebody who's on the stat sheet. If you look at it, did nothing. Josh McCray. What do you have? 17 yards and 2 massive TDs. How about Josh McCray? I just thought that was awesome.
Okay,
what he did.
Why did they bring Josh McCray in on like the second drive? He hasn't touched the ball all year. That was a little
on the field. I know
that was a little weird.
What is he doing? He's 5th on the depth chart. At that
I just that was one of those. We've seen this time and time again, Roddy and Eddie and JC, where you had Del McGee in there, and he's like, "Hey, this guy's hot. Let's take him out. Let's put this other guy in."
That's valid. But they are
and Tony Ball and James Coley and any wide receiver coach at Georgia. The minute a guy catches 1 or 2 passes, yank his ass out.
Yeah, that's exactly what that felt like. But good for him. I mean,
yeah,
he needed him there. Up you, Paul.
All right, can I go back to what JC said, because I think it was brilliant, and I want to expand on this a little bit. We did a
surprise.
Something JC said was brilliant.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a smart lawyer, and you're an idiot, Paul, doing your general construction or whatever the hell you do there, and jamming fries down your mouth. I mean, come on. So,
do you see this mustache? You wish you could grow this. You wish you could grow this. You have the facial hair of a 12-year-old child.
Mustache. Yeah, I wish I could grow that. That's great.
Yeah, you have the facial hair of a 12-year-old child. Congratulations.
Can I make my point now? Are you going to allow me?
A prepubescent teen. Go ahead.
Okay. So, coming out of half, that was an absolute death march. What we did to go down and score. Yeah. That was
you talking about the field goal?
No, I'm talking about the drive we made to get down the field and score a touchdown that we did coming out of halftime. That was an awesome drive.
8-minute drive.
That was phenomenal. I mean, that was unbelievable. I think JC's right. Kirby read this game incorrectly. And if we'd have lost this game, I was going to say Kirby blew this football game, because after that, they came out. I don't know, it was 3 and out, but wasn't that the drive where Raylan Wilson just absolutely blasted Aguilar?
Yes.
And I said, oh my God, he's going to be thinking about that the rest of the game. They punted, and we did 3 runs up the damn middle and got nothing and punted the ball. And then the next series, we got a turnover, right? KJ Bolden got that turnover. And I think we got a field goal on that drive.
3-and-out field goal.
Right. 3-and-out field goal. That's exactly right. Because where we on the field. Those 2 drives right there, you could have buried Tennessee and sent those stupid fans home early. And he didn't do it. And next thing you know, Tennessee throwing a long duck pass for a touchdown, and that's what it was. And we're like, oh my God, Tennessee's back in this. So
yeah, terrible QB.
To me was I never said he was terrible. I said those 2 throws were up for grabs. Anyway, JC, I thought that was brilliant what you said, and that's a huge misread on Kirby's part, right?
Yeah, I was shocked that it happened. I mean, Roddy, you were with Coach Donnan. Did he think that we were just going to keep running the ball after? I mean, this was like 11 runs and 1 pass or something like that.
See, that's the thing. Coach never gets into which runs versus. He doesn't do the numbers that way. It's all for him. It's all scheme. I'll say, Coach, what do you like here? Let's say it's 3rd and 1 or 2nd and 8. I'll say, Coach, what do you want to run here? He's like, let me see the defense. He has no theory or no philosophy prior to that. Now he knows, okay, we're gashed them on the right side, but if they line up 8 in the box, he's like, okay, we got to toss it out here quick. Also knowing that you're basically limping because your right side needs more care than your left. And it's always based on what the defense does as to what play you call. So I'm not saying if you run it 30 times and you only throw it 3, that's the right way to go about it. But some of that is just based on what the defense does and how they line up. So he's making his decision because that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, based on how the defense lines up.
What did Coach say about the right side of the offensive line, or for folks that didn't watch the watch along show? Did he say anything or no?
He was about to die. I mean, he was so frustrated. He's like, every time Michael Weenie and Coach won't throw a kid under the bus, but he's like, I know what he wanted to say was, why is Michael Weenie out there? And he's like, where's Ernest Green? And I'm like, his back's probably hurting him, Coach, and there was a question earlier from Randy.
Roddy, was he pulled because of his back or was he pulled because of performance?
That's the question. And I've not seen the post-game comments. I haven't seen. I'm sure somebody asked Kirby, but you got to think about it. He's not pulled for. There wasn't a play that I looked at Ernest Green getting blown up or beat.
He had a couple.
Yeah. And it just seemed like the offense took it.
Well, then they would have pulled Weenie much earlier because he got beat four times in a row.
So
2 touchdowns they cost us.
Here's the thing is you have to find a right tackle because now you've run through 4 guys. And I don't know if any of them are.
If Green is healthy, he's your right tackle. If Juan Gaston's healthy, again, you look at when those 2 were out there together, all of a sudden Georgia looks so much better.
But also, Roddy, Juan Gaston was not hurt at the end of the game. He was on the sidelines because he was gassed.
I noticed that too. Yeah,
he was on the sidelines
during their. Was he hurt?
You don't know he wasn't hurt.
I mean, okay, take that back. He could have been hurt, but
he's also 350 pounds.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe you try him at right tackle.
I'd love to see him out there. But again, when they just started going. You got a guy lining up in a 7 technique or a 9 technique, just blowing past Michael Weenie play after play after play, and you're like, okay, you can't tell me that that's better than having Ernest Green out there. So
that's freshman.
I'm telling you, Ernest Green had to be hurt because
Well, that's why I thought we were gonna lose is every single play. Gunner's having to do some magic. I mean that throw to Delp that he got 18 yards. I have no idea how he even got it out.
I don't either. Yeah.
Right tackle twice on the goal line, missed the block, and then Gunner on that 2nd down play gets hit, and then a whiff, and he had a wide open end zone. Cost us 8 points, right tackle, 2 series.
No, I'm with you. Hey, the guards missed blocks, but then other times they gave enough time for Gunner to light it up and throw. So there were times they were terrible, times they were good. I just think that Ernest Green is by far better than Michael Weenie or Bo Hewley.
When healthy.
Bo Hewley came in, they got a lot better. Dontrell Glover's good. He did miss a block down on the goal line that stuffed you, and you wound up having to go for a field goal. But he's also a true freshman, just like Juan Gaston. But Juan Gaston's a much better true freshman than Dontrell Glover. When you wind up next year with those guys, playing guards on either side, that is going to be a very nasty Georgia offensive interior. they've got some learning curves to go through, but the future's bright for those guys. But right now, one's hurt and one's making mistakes. So,
I got one more question. I'll get out of here.
I was going to get out of here too. I got one more question. Jeez, Eddie.
Go ahead,
All
Paul.
right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Paul.
He's always trying to take your thunder.
He is. It's unbelievable.
We spoke at the same damn time. I didn't know he was speaking.
I know.
Jesus. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead. I'll let you speak.
Before I get out of here, what are you most concerned about? We'll go round table real quick. The right side of the offensive line or the defensive secondary?
O-line is more important.
Okay.
Radi?
You want mine?
You may speak.
Thanks.
That's some Game of Thrones shit right there.
You know what I'm concerned about? The defensive line pressure.
I didn't ask that. Was not what.
I
It's
know,
a multiple
and
choice. It's a multiple
that's my
choice question.
concern. No, you didn't say that. All right, but go ahead. I'll say the defensive backs. Fine.
Okay.
But I think it's because we didn't get any pressure on Aguilar.
Eddie, excuse me, offensive line or defensive secondary, Roddy?
To me, offensive line. I know it's easy to kind of think of them as just kind of five guys or, just your front. Having a bad offensive lineman, a bad right guard, a bad right tackle, it's like having a terrible cornerback. You're going to pick on him. You know you're going to be successful throwing at him. You get a bad right guard, you just chew him up. There was the years that Georgia absolutely destroyed Florida. You knew that their center was he would pee down his leg because Jordan Davis lined up over him. Jordan owned him back-to-back years. And the Georgia coaches or the people inside the program were like, hey, watch Jordan against this Florida center. And you know me, I'd never want to pick Florida to win that game. I mean, Georgia to win that Georgia-Florida game just because it's weird things happen in that stadium. But I'm like, oh, Jordan Davis is going to kill this guy. He's killed him 2 years in a row. Third year is going to be a charm. And he did. So if you've got a bad right guard, you can't run it to the right. Your pass protection is crap. Give me a bad right guard and a bad right tackle. What do you do on offense? At least on defense, if you got a bad secondary, maybe you can get to them with your defensive front. You get your linebackers. You can drop 8, try to get there with 3. You get dime packages, stuff like that. Georgia doesn't have a second safety. They brought in 3 transfer safeties. None of them were on the field. I don't think any of them played.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are hits. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're having to go with guys who couldn't win the job previously. So I'm much more worried about the offensive line. It's real easy to go, well, just put in somebody else because you have these big bodies. But that is just as bad as having a terrible outside linebacker or a terrible, defensive tackle that you can just run over. So to me, it's offensive line. It starts up front. So you got to get that figured out before Texas and Alabama.
I'll leave you guys with this. Georgia won at Neyland, and they're 3-0.
Yeah. We'll take it all day long. And had no business winning that football game.
No business winning the football game. You get an off week, prepare, see what happens.
Hey, I'll leave you guys with this. Where is that fat guy they kept showing on TV that was getting ready to celebrate the win? You remember that? I want to know what he's doing right now. What do you think he's doing, James? You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Didn't see it.
ABC was planning, picking out all the people that was going to storm the field when he made.
They were so excited about that. That's right. Yeah,
I like
would have been pumped.
It just blows my mind that now they will probably no longer be in the rotation, so they have to sit there and hear about it for a few more years.
Yep.
And I will say, I love the Tennessee fans. They're very friendly when you go up there. But every time you had a argument with a Tennessee fan, they were worse than Auburn or Alabama or Florida about anybody about going 1980. You haven't won titles since 1980.
Yep.
I'm like, and I get it. Hey, Tennessee Twitter that's a great bunch of fans who love their team. But I'm like, man, you can make fun of so much more. So they put a lot of significance into historical trends and facts. And they'll talk about, well, you've won 8 in a row, but you haven't won 9. We beat you 9 times in a row. And I'm like, yeah. And I remember that win in 2000. Tim Wansley with the interception at the end. I was on the field when the fans stormed it. An absolute zoo. I know what a cathartic release that was, but they ain't getting that release. They thought they had it tonight. They were ready to storm the place.
Yep.
That is.
And yeah,
that's like, hey, you think you're getting third base and her dad comes home. I mean, it's just, it is a, that is brutal, man.
Pick 6, LSU. Whoa. Pick 6. 20 to 10.
That leads me to my final thing. All right.
Go ahead, JC. No. I want to hear your final thing, and then I'll get out. Go ahead.
We won that game because teams like Heupel and Tennessee, Sark, there's something in their back of their mind that's like, I'm just not sure. I'm not 100% I can beat these guys, the Georgia Bulldogs. The only other team in the country that doesn't have that fear is Alabama. We have that little thing in the back of our head saying, I don't know if we beat that team. If we're in the same situation 2 weeks from now, we lose that game. So you got to figure it out, because they're the one team that's going to walk in there and says, we don't give a crap who UGA is. We're not afraid of Kirby Smart because we beat you every time.
Yeah. Well, JC, I picked the loss. You know, that's one of the losses. We're going to lose to Bama. You show me otherwise. We just are. So that's a great point. Thank you, guys. Enjoyed it.
All right.
Thank you, Eddie.
See y'all.
I like this one from Jordan Wansley there. My uncle Lamar Wansley took me down the field to meet Tim Wansley when I was a kid. That's awesome. I love it. Who's the next Florida coach? Pendle Scar is damn good to be a dog. All right, we've got Ben Bachman and Randy and Heath. Let me bring on Randy here. This is Randy's been helping us at the last 2 home games, filming a bunch of stuff for us. He's done 2 fantastic videos of Georgia highlights. So be sure to check those out on this YouTube channel. And Ben, are you ready for action? You know, okay. We're going to bring on Ben Bachman as well. But we got to defer to the guy who actually has been doing some great stuff for us. Randy Powers, give us your thoughts.
Well, it's a damn good day to be a damn good dog. That's what I'll say about that. I'll tell you what, 9 straight. I was in school during the run that Tennessee had. That was 9 straight. I was in the stadium the night that Georgia ended that streak, and to sit here now and say that Georgia's riding a 9-game streak of their own, knowing it was going to be hard to go up there and get that thing done today, for a litany of reasons. That I'm super happy. I mean, yeah, there's a lot that you got to clean up. There's a lot that happened today. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. That's where I'll leave it. And I'll give you this too. And I maybe you guys touched on this off the top, or maybe not, but today's win is the largest comeback in an SEC road game for Georgia since 2004. That's a 14-point come from behind victory. So that is something. That's the thing that stood out to me is I've been saying forever, it feels like, that Gunner's not the problem for me. I've never doubted who and what he was or how he was going to play. And the kid's just a winner. He might not always come out on top, but he is going to fight, and he has what it takes to lead Georgia to these types of wins. I just had no doubt in that. And I was super happy to see him go out there today and do exactly what I've been saying would happen. He would have his opportunities, and they were able to hit on a few of them in spite of all of the issues that the offensive line has been talked about tonight. Absolute problem. And there are other problems. And yet they still put 44 on the board on the road and beat a Tennessee team that just had to believe that this was the one that was going to break the streak. So,
yeah, dude, I saw just some of the Tennessee fans tweeting saying this. Let me give you guys a quick pitch to sign up for UGAsports.com right now, because you should go over and read VolQuest. The tweets I saw and the comments on VolQuest are
like crashing out.
They're losing their damn minds.
I feel for that kicker with that fan base more than any other fan. But that fan base is the worst when it comes to this stuff. I mean, they're worse than Auburn. To have I feel for that kicker legitimately, right now.
That's I feel bad, but again, it's
Listen, man, you signed up for it.
They played for the field goal.
Yeah.
Georgia was on it. Georgia let him drive the field. They had plenty of time. Should have been a little more aggressive. You don't want to ever leave it on the front laces of a kicker. Put it in the damn end zone. You get the quarterback, the O-line. They wanted to deliver this for their team more than anybody. So,
and Roddy,
I'm glad they didn't. Don't get me wrong.
And Roddy, you brought this up when they were showing him before the kick. I was like, "This guy's." You could literally see it in his face.
Dude.
I
mean,
like
when you're on the sideline,
I think watching football stuff like that happen both times, you just knew he was so in his head about it.
Yeah.
There was no shot. But I think overall with Georgia, the biggest takeaway for me is, to me, like he said, Gunner was the bright spot. And I have no worries about him. I think if they let him throw, they showed a stat after the game on throws of 10 yards or more downfield. He was 8 for 11, 168 yards and a touchdown. That's impressive. He's got to let him throw it. I think one thing now with the modern quarterback, I think they don't trust the development of quarterbacks now because they're transferring all over the place. And we had this conversation last week, Roddy, about like how quarterbacks aren't developing the same because of the portal and NIL. And it's just, so I think a lot of what coaches are doing now is they're trying to simplify everything and try to make sure, quarterbacks aren't turning it over and simplify it. Sometimes if you have a quarterback, and Gunner's been at Georgia for 4 years now, he's been, in the system for 4 years, just let him throw it. Trust your quarterback. Let him do it. And if he does, you're going to win ball games. Sometimes it might lose you some, but if you show you have faith in a quarterback, they showed they had faith in Gunner. He got the job done. With defense, it was awful for half the game, but really 2 of the drives, they just chucked. It was like one play. It was coverage busts. I remember there's one play where Ellis Robinson, to me, and the first one where Ellis had a bust where he got beat one-on-one. I would have just tackled the guy. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's not the NFL. It's not a spot foul. I would have just tackled him. He would have literally got half the amount of yards compared to if you just let him catch the ball. So, I mean, plays like that, I don't think are going to be consistent with Georgia because, to be honest, this is the toughest team you're going to play all year on the road. It's not going to be the toughest environment because Auburn is cursed. That will always be number one. But I look and I go, to survive that game, all your toughest opponents in terms of just the teams you're going to play are at home the rest of the way. And Kirby Smart doesn't lose at home. So for Gunner to go there and win that game, I think the quarterback position, you don't have to doubt it. He might not be a Heisman. He might not be a first-round pick, but Gunner should not be the first worry on Georgia fans the rest of the year.
No. I mean, Coach Donnan on Tuesday stood on the table and was basically saying, listen, you sons of bitches. He didn't quite say it that way, but he's like,
yeah,
I've been a quarterback. I've coached 4 first-round quarterbacks. And he was one of the first guys to come out and stand on the table for Stetson Bennett when everybody was crapping on him. He has told me what problems Carson Beck had when he first got here, and he told me how good Carson had gotten. And we saw Carson set the Georgia record for completion percentage. They bring him in to help evaluate quarterbacks. I've seen NFL coaches text him and ask him about quarterbacks. My point is, when he's like, Gunner is good, he knows what he's doing, I would have him start for my teams. The man's won national titles. So when he did that, I'm like, okay, coach, you know what you're talking about. And that's what we saw tonight. Gunner tore it up without pass protection.
Right.
Can you imagine what he could have done if he had time? Jesus. Right. I don't mean to cut you off there, but I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, huge win tonight. Gunner tore it up. I was very happy to see him do that. And it just gives him more confidence. Like you said, Alabama comes to town. Ty Simpson looked good today. Texas comes to town. We didn't really get to see Arch Manning versus Gunner Stockton, but right now, I mean,
Arch is not impressive at all.
I'm just saying, I like Georgia's chances. Ty Simpson wasn't. He's not. I don't know that he's going to be the Heisman winner. Right now, though, I'm thinking, okay, Gunner Stockton looks pretty damn good. So
I know, Roddy, you just want to say Jackson Arnold might be the toughest quarterback they got to play. You're a Jackson Arnold believer.
I'm a Jackson Arnold guy. I wanted Georgia to get him so damn bad.
It's him and Lagway, who I'm still perplexed every time I watch Florida. I don't know what this guy is.
Yeah, what's the folks in the comment section? Tell us what's going on with the Florida game.
Last I checked, he threw a pick 6, but he'll make plays where it's like this guy's the Heisman, and then he'll make plays where it's just like I don't know about this guy. Like to me, he's the most confusing quarterback in the sport.
I want to give a shout out to KC. KC gave us one of the best super chats we've ever had in the history of UGA sports. It was phenomenal earlier to end the show there. But he asked a good question here. He goes, does Noah Thomas know the playbook? He does know the playbook. That's not why he's playing. That is not why he is not playing.
Have you talked, Roddy, about Zachariah Branch's usage in this game?
Who?
Zachariah Branch.
Is he on the team?
Listen, regarding
Zach he was there the first quarter and the first half, but then he kind of disappeared.
That 2-point play, the crucial play, obviously that gets us to overtime, just one hell of a play call and design by Mike Bobo. I mean, that was the jerk route, and you work a little rub into it also. That's why the man was wide open, and then Gunner just has to hand it to him. He was so wide open, I was worried he might, get too happy and drop it. So just great play. Just great play design.
Remember Conley running that route all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Jerk route, man. You got to love it.
I mean, just slam on the brakes, turn around, and like, hey, throw it to Chris Conley. Throw it to Flight 17. He's wide ass open in the end zone. So,
yeah. Well, and obviously, since they're playing Tennessee, who can forget that fantastic catch Conley made up there? That one-handed grab. That was outstanding back in the day. And I heard you guys make a mention there of Ellis on the big play. Absolutely, man. The biggest sin on that play is that you just don't drag him to the ground. Just take the flag. Don't give up the 7 and take your shots. But the other point that I think was recently brought up was at the end of the game. That was one of the most disappointing parts in the game for me. Was Georgia couldn't stop the run as Tennessee was getting in position for that field goal attempt. And that it's not a huge concern. They didn't play the run great today, and there are a few reasons for that. But I was hoping that they would do better than they did, because it seemed like Tennessee ran it when they wanted to there at the end. And that was a little disheartening for me. So I'm glad it went the way it did. And on Gunner, I honestly think that as he gets more comfortable moving through this season, and we all saw this, the way he played back in high school, you can't really do it against Tennessee, but it looks like he would be a good fastball quarterback. If they want to go tempo and run things a little bit better, let him get a hot hand, let his receivers work for him. I think that could be something that could benefit the Dogs down the year here.
I agree. Give that to Mr. Sampson here. We got a $10 super chat from him. This guy's
my man Antoine and Casey. I'm happy to see these fellas in here. These are my dudes.
A lot of it comes down to, you notice on Zach Branch's touchdown, Dylan Bell springing him.
Yeah.
At least the second time in 3 games, a big block downfield.
And Lawson Lucky.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know that Noah Thomas is as willing to put his face through someone else's face. You gotta be a very tough wide receiver to play in a Kirby Smart defense. Even I don't say little London Humphreys, but London Humphreys has been known to take on guys and much bigger than him, slam into him. You got to be a dog out there. You got to be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
Noah Thomas has to decide how nasty he wants to be before we see more of him. I know that Georgia got him in here leading. James Coley wanted him leading receiver at Texas A&M, but I just don't think they're as high on him as maybe we as the media or the fan base are, because he's healthy. The plays aren't complicated. It's a route.
I will add this, though. I don't think people have talked about this drive enough. When KJ Bolden got the pick where the Tennessee receiver stumbled, that next offensive drive to me was the worst offensive drive by Georgia of the day.
Yeah.
I felt like they were inside they were already in field goal range, and they did absolutely nothing, and they ran literally like the same run play back-to-back times. And I'm sitting there going, you have a chance to go up 2 scores here and to just deflate that crowd to a point where they're dead. At that point, if Georgia goes up 2 scores coming off a pick, Tennessee's quarterback is not the same after that. Once they got that quick, it was basically a 3-and-out, and Georgia got the field goal, and they went down and they scored, I believe, on the next drive. to me, that just reignited that you had a chance to kill them right then and there. And I think one of the issues was, I think Bobo in the second offensive drive, this wasn't the same drive, he ran the ball repetitively, and Tennessee was just sitting in it at this point. They loaded the box because Georgia's like, okay, we're going to out-physical them. And Tennessee sat it. And I go, sometimes you just got to do play action on first down. Give Gunner those like an easy 5-6 yard pass and just switch it up just a little bit on the early downs. I understand you don't want to put the ball in the air once your running game's getting going, but at least it gives Tennessee the thought of, okay, they might still throw on us. Because I thought they got a little bit conservative on a couple of drives in the second half, even though overall I'm not going to crap on Mike Bobo, but I'm just going to say, those are types of drives that you want to kill Tennessee. You want to take them out in those and not put yourself in a predicament where their kicker has a chance to win the game.
So you have two thoughts, and again, this is coming from not only from Coach Donald but from other people I spoke to. They said, "Look, Tennessee was killing Georgia on first down passes. It works great, but when they in the second quarter when they started missing on some of those first down passes, their drive stalled. Georgia comes out, hits a long pass on first down, and backs everybody up. It's great, but if you miss on that first down pass, even a play action, all of a sudden you're looking at 2nd and 10. You're behind the sticks. So now they know you're going to run it. So you run it, they load the box. Now you're looking at 3rd and 8. First down pass is great, but if you miss it, you're screwed. So my point is, when you do hit it, you're money. You're tearing down the field. On the first 3 drives that Tennessee had, they were hitting that first down pass and just gashing Georgia. Then they'd have a short run. Now they're back into a first down, another throw, second down run to complete it, or a second down throw because it's only 2nd and 2. You can chance a long pass here, and they gash Georgia on those. And then when Georgia goes a little conservative, because Georgia was throwing that first down pass, okay, we're going to run it so that we're looking at 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 5. And they get nothing. And the defense is like, okay, well, it's 2nd and 8. We know you need to throw it. So Georgia's like, okay, they know we need to throw it. So let's try a draw. Let's try a trap. Let's run power here. Let's run counter. Let's run something. Let's run inside zone. And those inside zones just got nowhere. Now you're 3rd and 8. You don't convert that, and you have to kick it. We talk about 3rd downs all the time. And what was Georgia's conversion rate on 3rd down plays? Georgia was 8 of 17. You're at 50%, whereas Tennessee was 5 of 12. I'm happy with Georgia's 3rd down conversion percentage, but Georgia's 2nd down plays, there were like 3 of them that just killed your drive, or either penalty or missed block or 0 pickup on 2nd down that just made you want to blow your brains out. So I get what you're saying. That drive sucked. There was a couple other just 3 and outs, couple goal line plays, your red zone, where you had to settle for field goals because your 2nd down play killed you the drive, not the 3rd down.
Right. I think the only other drive was, and I don't even think it's on Georgia, was the 2nd drive of the game. Like, I thought Oscar Delp got tackled twice on literally the 2nd drive of the game. He got tackled like 2 times on that drive. And the ref is standing right there. It was 8 yards downfield. And I just remember Georgia bouncing back at that point. That's when I realized, like, the offense has the ability on that 3rd drive. When they made it 14, I go, okay, Georgia has something on Tennessee here. But I just felt like they didn't put their foot on the pedal enough. I get what you're saying, Roddy. It's high risk, high reward, because if you're 2nd and 10, and then you basically have to run the ball to get some amount of yards, you're putting your team at a deficit because you're probably only get like a 3-4 yard gain. Because Tennessee knows you're not just going to throw 3 straight times. You're just not going to do that. I mean, if Bobo did, maybe not in this game, but there might be a game where if I'm Bobo, I'm tempted to do it just to throw people off. But I look at that and I go, Georgia, I think just late in the game, being able to execute on some of those passes, especially on 4th down, I think that's going to be the difference maker for this team for the rest of the year. Just to know that their pass game late in the game, you have multiple guys that you can go to. Noah Thomas, I think that was a question earlier. I remember a lot of people were hyping him up in, was it spring or fall camp, saying, he was going to be the guy for Georgia. But I look and I go, to me, with the screen game, as much as people complain about it, if Zachariah Branch, I know we forgot who he was. We forgot he was on the team. I would just throw him some screens like 1 or 2 times in the second half just to get him.
We were screaming for that, dude. We were screaming for it. And at times they were playing off of him. And I almost think, I know the coaches say they don't pay attention to what the pundits are saying, or, we don't listen to the noise outside the building. But at some point, that all they hear about is Mike Bobo throwing screens, and Mike will make a snarky comment about it or something like that. I'm not saying he has, but my point is the coaches at some point or another will make some kind of snarky comment about what the criticism of them is, and they're playing off of Zachariah Branch, the guy who took a 3-yard screen pass 49 yards to the house. And you got Coach John and screaming, throw it to one, just turn and fire and get it to one. He didn't say this, but I'm thinking, screw the people who are worried about screen passes. The screen game works. There's a reason every team in the universe throws screens.
And to your point earlier, Roddy, where you were talking about throwing the ball on first down, if you swing it out there on first down, I mean, that's an extension of the run game, right? That's Kirby's famous line.
That's what he calls it, yeah.
That's exactly right. You put it out there, you take the 4 or 5. That's the same as
they hit him on a bubble screen for like 17.
A toss right. So there you go. So, I mean, that's it. And again, to my eyes, Georgia won the game today because of Gunnar Stockton, not in spite of him. And one of the plays
there's no criticism you can level against him today.
One of the plays that you were talking about, Branch, where it was a key third, it may have been 4th down. It was definitely 3rd down, where Gunnar rolls to the right, moves the pocket, and hits Branch, with a great throw over the middle to pick up the first down, extend the drive. So I'm with you. He needs to touch as many times as possible, however they want to do it. And frankly, I'm not sure they're not going to put him in the backfield at some point, motion him into the backfield, maybe incorporate him into that, speed option game somehow down the road. But you could just do so many things with him. He just needs to touch the football.
I agree with you 100%. That was kind of driving me crazy. Actually, I tweeted out halfway through the game, or halfway through the 3rd quarter. I'm like, is Noah Branch still in the stadium? Because it just
Zach, yeah.
And I mean, I get he was out on the field, but it was just kind of driving me nuts. I'm like, why not? And there was one play that kind of, this is where Glenn Schumann got in his bag on that overtime. I thought it was brilliant to bring the corner there. I thought Mike Bobo did as well. They had not run that formation with Micah Morris shooting out there to pick up the cornerback. They had not run that formation all game. First play from overtime, 21-yard pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely brilliant. But then they tried one play with 13 personnel. They got minus 1 yard. 13 personnel. It's like, okay, we're going to switch this up. We're going to bring in 3 tight ends, and still couldn't get anything. Sometimes you can call the right play and it just falls apart because somebody doesn't do their job.
That's right. That's right. It takes
other times you can call a shitty play and somebody saves your ass. And we're like, wow, great play call there. It's like, no, there's no way that should have worked. So,
Roddy, I was going to ask you, do you think there's any shot they give the alien Elias Williams like any run this year in the offense? Because to me, like when I looked at him and I said, like they're definitely in like these files when they're looking at like the UFOs and stuff, like he's definitely like his name is listed in there. Like there's got to be a way Georgia can like utilize him, whether it's in the run game or in the pass game in like the red zone. Because I look at the tight ends right now, Lawson Lucky's played okay. I thought they whenever they do screens to him, I feel like they never go anywhere because he's not like a Bowers level athlete. But I think with Elias Williams, you have something there where he's a mismatch, kind of like with Darnell, that you could utilize him, on a couple of drives. And I'm curious if they're going to move him into the rotation with Lucky and Delp.
I don't see it. I mean, they played Jaden Riddell a bit. Still haven't seen Colton Heinrich come in. I don't know that I think he's 5th on the depth chart. So like he can't block. So
something
you put him out there as a wide receiver, but you have better options as a wide receiver. Hey, let's bring on Heath Fox here real quick because Heath has been on. He's been waiting a long time, and I need to add him to the show. Heath, give me 2 seconds before you give us your thoughts on the game, because I need to mention our friend Bart Benton at Benton & Benton Personal Injury Attorneys. Bart is a huge Georgia fan. I need to text him. Actually, I'm probably going to text him while you guys are talking. This guy is, when I say rabid Georgia fan, he is absolutely rabid. He's also rabid in the courtroom. If you get hurt, this guy has recovered over, he and his firm have recovered over $58 million. That's just in 2024, man. But they think about it. When you have that many clients getting huge payouts, $1.7 million on a car accident. Somebody gets hit by a DUI, they get $970,000. You get some idiot in a tractor trailer who hits you and you pick up $950,000 to fix your car and to fix the damages. Somebody gets hurt because of a bad, on someone else's premises where they didn't take care of it, take care of the people who were coming on the premises, $4.4 million. These guys do not screw around. They do not play close games in overtime. They demolish their competition. They run over you like a pack of freaking hippopotamuses. They are going to grind you into meat. These are the guys, you want them on your side. So reach out to Benton and Benton. They're in Monroe. It's if you like, I can't remember what their name was. Is it Burton and Burton, Barton and Barton? What is it? It's just remember this tagline. If you're injured, be smart, call Bart. Just type that in. Be smart, call Bart. And Bart Benton will pop up on your screen there, and you'll know that you can get Bart. And again, he's been on the in the comment section here. He's watched the show. This guy is one of the best in the business. He is a absolute great white shark in the courtroom. So be sure to get that guy on your side. All right, Heath, you waited a long time. Let's get your thoughts.
Well, Roddy, after that game, I've had a couple of these smoked old fashions.
Oh, those look nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Mine's empty.
Listen, at the end of the day, when you go on to SEC on the road, like we have against Kentucky, we've seen this against Kentucky last year or 2 years ago. We've seen this against Georgia Tech, not on the road, but then you've seen it at Auburn. This is just these are games that SEC lives for, right? I mean, I think Gunner did great. I think our offensive line, obviously, we said it last week after Austin Piss that our offensive line we looked like we struggled. Our defensive backs, they got tested today.
Yeah, they did.
This is their first real big time test. You see over the top, Aguilar throwing it over the top, and really, I don't know why Tennessee, they're on their last drive. I don't know why they didn't try to beat us deep. There was times where I was like, man.
Yeah, I don't want to give them ideas, but I'm with you. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I'm glad they didn't, obviously, but they played it kind of conservative, kind of like we did when we got the picks and we got the turnover on downs. When we really could have nailed the coffin down, we played it conservative, and that almost came back to bite us in the ass, really. But overall, I think we played great and always good to get a win, especially top 25 team, especially at Neyland. So I'm very happy.
That's a hard place to play, brother.
That's a hard place to play. And like y'all were saying earlier, the fans are crazy. I mean, it was loud there at the beginning, but I think when you kind of didn't hear the TV as loud was when London Humphreys had that 4th and 6 bomb. He could not have thrown it any better. Gunner Stockton could not have thrown that ball any better. And that's when you heard the crowd kind of simmer down just a little bit. And it was great. It's a great feeling. It's a great day to be a dog. So
I think you nailed it. So I wrote when I wrote my 3-2-1 column, I wrote a different prediction initially. And basically I wrote why I wanted to pick Tennessee to win this game. And a lot of people have made something out of the fact that, Georgia's won 8 in a row. I want to see, Tennessee beat them first before I start picking them. I'm like, a game from 7 years ago has zero bearing on the current game.
Yeah.
Okay. Trends don't mean crap. I'm not trying to make light of them, but they have zero bearing on can Monroe Freeling block their 5 technique. It doesn't matter that Georgia won 7 years ago, but the crowd can. The crowd can affect a game.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, they had Dolly came out and she sang. This year, they had they had College Game Day there. This fan base was in the game, loud, absolutely loud. It's tough. You can feel it in your chest when you're down on the field. There's one of the loudest places you'll ever go. And they wanted it so bad. And I likened it back to 2000. I was downtown Athens with a friend of mine named Brad. The Tennessee fans rolled in and they were talking about they were walking around downtown like they owned the damn place, which, to be fair, they kind of did. They had won 9 in a row. And Brad, this guy's talking shit, and he says some stuff to Brad. Brad gets in his face, and the guy's saying, 9 in a row, 9 in a row. And Brad goes, listen, MFer, the streak ends tomorrow. And Brad's like got spittle coming out of his mouth. And that stadium in 2000 was sideways. They were nuts. They willed the Georgia team to come back, and Richard Seymour's doing his thing. Charles Grant's doing his thing. Tim Wisely gets the pick. They storm the field. That was the crowd that affects a game. Georgia affected that game. Georgia's crowd did. Tennessee was trying to do that today, and we can talk about running the ball on 2nd and 10, play calling, defense getting smoked. I just want to illustrate your point, Heath. Winning in Neyland is one of the hardest places to play. It is one of the hardest things to do. They needed this. They wanted to end that streak. And the first quarter, it looked like they were going to beat the brakes off Georgia.
Absolutely. 21 points in the first quarter. I mean, and here's the thing, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
no.
I think I underlooked Joey Aguilar. I think I did. And I was like, man, this kid went to App State. This is a 3-star quarterback. He came from UCLA. I think that was his last school, but he started out at App State. And I was like, man, this guy has never seen a Georgia defense. This guy's never seen it. And you could tell when he got rocked one good time, it kind of shook him up a little bit. And I thought that was going to be like, oh my gosh. But I think I underlooked him. I mean, that's a hell of a quarterback. Guys.
He's really good.
At the end of the day, he did his job, and his defense, unfortunately, fortunately, let him down a little bit. But I don't know. What do you think, Roddy? Do you think our defense overlooked Joey?
I don't think they overlooked him. I just don't think they're good.
Yeah.
I don't say they're not good. You couldn't pressure the quarterback.
No.
A lot of times when they catch it and throw it, you can't. There's no time, especially on first down. If you want to commit to attacking him on first down, you're going to get torched. So you're not sure what's going to happen, pass or throw. So I get that. But other times when the down and distance indicate kind of what they're going to do, you still didn't get there. And you have one good cornerback. You had 2 different cornerbacks get burned. And everybody was saying, where's Ellis Robinson? Where's Ellis Robinson? We saw Ellis Robinson. He had 2 big screw-ups. Daniel Harris had a screw-up. You have 1 safety. I did like the way that they started using KJ Bolden to come up and play the slot and leave Janelle Aguero back, to play more zone.
Right.
But it took them a while to kind of get that squared away. But Janelle Aguero should be able to play star, and KJ Bolden and somebody else. I'm not taking a shot at Ja'Cory Thomas or anybody else, but you don't have a second star safety. When you had Malachi Starks and KJ Bolden out there, you're like, okay, we're cooking with fire here, but you don't have that. So I'm not saying they took him easy, but how many quarterbacks, Ben, you're a good stat guy, and Randy, I know you've been covering Georgia a long time. How many quarterbacks have thrown for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns against Georgia?
Since Kirby's been there, under Kirby.
Yeah.
Well,
Bryce Young's one that I think of.
I'm not saying. I'll put it this way. I guarantee you it's not 25 QBs.
no, it's less than 5. It's
That's my
probably
point.
less
So
than 3.
I think it's about 5, probably.
So
Maybe Jackson Dart last year. I don't really remember I don't know what Jackson did last year.
Let's say it's 10. 10 in 10 years. That's one a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So Aguilar torched Georgia. Absolutely put them to the like I'm about to light up my cigarillo here. That's a hell of a QB. We saw that in the first two games, and I'm with you, Heath. I'm like, okay, he beat a bad Syracuse team who was struggling today. Then he beat East Tennessee. But the fact that you can throw or be responsible for as many touchdowns as he did against anybody, hell, some of that stuff is hard to do in practice without the defense there. And at some point, you have to respect the fact that, the kid has grown up. Yeah, he was at App State for 2 years, but the first year at App State, he set records at App State.
Sure
the second year, he had, 14 turnovers, and Coach Donnan kept saying, this kid averages 2.77 bad plays a game, either 2 interceptions or a bobbled snap or a fumble. And that kid threw 2 interceptions, had a bad snap, and a fumble. I'm just so the numbers don't lie, good or bad. The numbers, the mistakes he makes, yes, they show up. But also for throwing for 3,000 yards a couple years ago at App State, that also showed up. So kicking East Tennessee's ass and torching Syracuse, that showed up. So the kid's he's not bad. Now, he might be the best quarterback Georgia faces all year until they sees Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
I don't know. Simpson's he's had a hot hand lately. So we're going to find out in a couple of weeks about Ty Simpson. But yeah, he might be at the end of the day, at least statistically, he might have had the best day. Some of that style make fights, but I'm taking nothing away from the young man. He did great. He played really, really well inside of what they're asking him to do. Kudos, by the way, y'all mentioned the big hit on him earlier, which clearly shook him.
Yeah.
He was not the same dude there for
Was that by
a few
Raylan?
minutes. Yeah, it was Raylan.
Okay.
And just a phenomenal open field tackle, striking a player. Reminded me very much of Thomas Davis way back when. But kudos to the Georgia social staff or photographers, whoever it is that caught it. That was a literal slobber knocker. Like in the photo, the frame that they captured, you can see he had the slobber knocked from him in that hit. So just tremendous play by Raylan, just wonderful play. And it set the tone there for the middle part of the game. And my missus, she looked at me, she goes, "Can you feel it? Because I can feel that the stadium is different. The vibe is different."
Absolutely.
And it started, around that time in the game. And he wasn't quite as crisp on those, the slants and stuff like that. So the pass rush has been an issue though today. Like nobody was winning off the edge. And what pass rush there was up middle from Kristen Miller occasionally. So again, styles make fights, but to Roddy's point, he did have time to hang a couple up down the field and, was rewarded for it. They have to figure out a way to generate some pressure from those dudes that are on the edge, because against Tennessee, you can't bring that extra man all the time because of what they do. And it showed today. So those guys have to win. And I'm looking at Elijah Griffin, there's no reason he can't be that guy. But also the dudes out on the edge, Q, Gabe Harris, Elo, they have to figure out a way to generate some pass rush without having to bring that extra man. Because, again, I don't know that anybody else, save maybe Mississippi, would put them in the pinch the way Tennessee can when it comes to that sort of decision-making. But that's a sore spot for me right now.
I get it. That's when you realize you're without Michael Williams and Jalen Walker, 2 first-round draft picks. We kind of –
Well, Damon Wilson hanging out in the middle
transferred.
earth.
I'm just saying we're so spoiled that Georgia loses, 3 first-round draft picks, and we expect them to be as good or better than they were.
Back up there, yeah.
I'm like, if we knew that we're playing Tennessee had 3 defensive guys drafted in the first round, we'd be like, well, hell, Tennessee's defense can't be crap. Now they lost all their good players last year.
Right.
We don't expect Georgia to not miss a beat. And we're like, what the hell's going on, Glenn Schumann? So,
and we forget that this is the biggest game we've had all year. I mean, we played Marshall and Austin Peay. I mean, this is a big time game.
Oh, it's going to pay dividends. What happened today will pay dividends down the road for this team, because the one thing that's for sure is they're going to improve over the course of the year. The key, to me anyway, is are they going to be able to stay healthy? We all know that you're not as deep as we once were. And will they have the ability to meet those needs? Can Ernest Green stay healthy? Can, Juan Gaston keep his wind into the second half? Can he, because the ankle seems to be he's over that, right? We're getting over it. Can you keep your wind? Can you stay on the field? So we'll see.
I missed that. Everyone's saying that Juan Gaston was winded. How do we know that?
Well, I'm going off what we heard here. So I'm, that's one of those things where it just like, if he didn't perform well, fine. He's a freshman, so we're learning. But if
he didn't even, here's my thing is he didn't start. So if he was healthy enough,
right,
he'd have started. So that tells me he's injured, and therefore he gets in and does pretty well, but he's also injured and could have very easily been on a snap count. They're like, look, this kid's good for 22 plays. We're not going to go past that to stress his issue. Ernest Green gets out there. He's got back issues.
Right.
When you're 330 pounds and you have back issues and you're straining, because remember, everything on the offensive line is about strain, and you're straining against these guys. And it's a good defensive front for Tennessee. At some point, you go back to the sideline, your back's killing you.
Well, on the other side of that coin, though, Dontrell Glover, obviously another freshman, played, respectably there. He wasn't dominant, but he had good moments.
He had one obvious screw up, but there were other times he did okay. But
yeah, so
Mike Weenie is not the answer at right tackle.
Amen, brother. I not to hate on anybody individual, but that is not.
This is a guy who, and
it wasn't just pass protection.
Badass.
Right, and it wasn't just pass protection. There was one, where he and whoever was playing guard, he went right, everybody else went left, and there was an alley like this where the defender just ran right through there, and you're like, that's not working, fellas.
That happens. The guy gets tackled. Georgia has to settle for a field goal, and everybody blames Mike Bobo.
Yeah.
This is why I come across as a Mike Bobo defender, because I'm like, the guy didn't do his MFing job.
That's right.
Right.
And you're like, well, you just like Mike. I'm like, well, I don't like Mike. We're not friends. We're not. Like, oh, you need that to maintain your access. I'm like, Mike doesn't tell me jack. I would love to have a new offensive coordinator, because I used to have an offensive coordinator there that gave me all sorts of scoops. It'd be good for me to replace Mike. My point is, we can blame Mike, we can blame Stacey Searles, but I'm like, I blame Dontrell Glover for missing a block.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what we were talking about last week
earlier. And to me, the two keys, he brought up health. That's number one for every team. And number two is the pass rush. If Georgia has a pass rush, to me, they have everything to win a championship given the current state of college football. Because to me, I think one thing that Georgia fans need to change is this thought process that they have to have the 2021 defense to win a title, or to have this LSU 2019 offense to win a title. You don't anymore. There's no teams that are going to be built like that anymore. Even if Georgia wins championships the next 2 years, they won't be like those teams, because now the talent is so spread everywhere, and the way that teams are now scheming things up are different. If you have a good pass rush, if you have a quarterback that played today like Gunner is, and you are the more healthy team, you have what you need to win a title. You don't need to have a secondary that's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. They have talent back there. I think a lot of them played terrible today, or not to their standards, but they still have talent back there that I know in other games will play better. If they're in Athens, that's if they do have to play Ryan Williams. That's going to be a struggle. But I think if they have those two things, health and a pass rush, to be able to get at the other quarterback to ease those concerns on your secondary, they can win a title with everything they have. Because there's not that many dominant teams. You look at Clemson. Dabo needs to be fired if I'm a Clemson fan. They stink now. They have all these first-round picks and they stink. And you have teams like that where you have Georgia, where even when their talent's regressing, they can go to Tennessee and win these games with these limitations. And then you got people like Clemson in the ACC who they're a joke.
Hey, we could be South Carolina fans tonight.
I think Sellers got concussed, by the way. I think someone he got leveled, and it was bad.
Yeah, he's out. That is a great point, too, because we forget. Some people forget that this is a whole different playoff platform, right? This is how many we lost last year to Alabama and Ole Miss, and we still won the SEC championship. You don't have to have teams like that. I mean, do we think that Riley Leonard was the best quarterback last year? Do we think that he was one of the best? He was damn good, but I don't think he was the best quarterback in college football. He made it to the national championship. These things, I mean, you got to look at it kind of in that way too. It's a whole different platform with this 12-team playoff. I mean, you don't have to win every game. You want to, but you don't have to.
Roddy, I have a specific question about the Aguero interception. I mean, it looked to me, you mentioned earlier that they had moved KJ down in the slot. I didn't notice that live, but it just looked to me like they were doing some trickeration, a little scheme, you know, because you had Aguero down close, and then he bailed at the snap and was able to get back fast enough and make a play on that ball. Do you know if that was an instance where KJ had bumped down and he was actually the safety, or if they were running a little game right there?
That's what they were doing. They were switching him around because they couldn't cover the slot. I mean, the first two drives, they attacked, you know, the slot. And that was actually – so right as the whole game started, when the watch-along, Coach John was like, everybody's banging on the offense and Gunner Stockton. That's not the question tonight. The question is, can we cover their slot receiver? Can we get coverage from our linebackers and from our safeties and from our star? The first thing they did was throw a pass and bang on a safety. And he's just kind of shaking his head like son of a bit. So, I mean, he knew what was coming beforehand. He wasn't worried about the offensive line running the ball and throwing it and Gunner Stockton. He was worried about Georgia's secondary, and he nailed it. And when they were getting killed, when they made that adjustment, he saw it. He's like, okay, we're bringing KJ Bolden up to cover the slots because he's good against the run and he can actually cover, whereas Janelle Aguero is not great coverage. He's great against the run,
right?
And so we're going to drop him back. And that's not – I mean, it takes some big balls to take your slot guy, your star guy, and drop him back to your single high safety.
Yeah. So to that point, let's pull the thread. I mean, Aguero was a safety in high school. Any thought they slide him back permanently and move somebody else that we're not discussing right now into play that star position?
I don't think so. That's probably your best guy there. And then there in the second quarter, he was all over the place. He looked great.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So,
absolutely. I had pegged him as a guy who was going to be a difference maker today, and he absolutely was. But we didn't
see
right.
Adrian Maddox. We didn't see Zion Branch. We didn't see was it Jaden Harris? None of the transfers were in there at safety. And the guys who you have there were the ones, you know, Kyron Jones, Ja'Cory Thomas, guys like that. They were the ones that couldn't beat out the people that were, you know, they're fourth, fifth year guys. Sometimes they couldn't beat out the ones that were here. So,
right.
You know, Roddy, the first big guy I think they've missed out of the portal that used to be on the team that I'm like, you know, what they would need right now is AJ Harris, because he's like the best player on Penn State's defense, who people are saying it's a top 5 team. If he was at star right now, that would allow them to Georgia to do a lot of things to their secondary. Yeah. I know it's, you know, he's not going to be back here, obviously, but it's one of those deals where he's probably the first guy I could think of them like, yeah, it would have been nice to keep him. But at the same time, I think it would have been a struggle for him to play last year, because he would have probably walked in this year as a starter. So obviously it's a tricky situation, but he would have been nice to keep.
I can see a comment here. Jenna is asking why JJA isn't playing. He's playing. It's just that he's not splashing. I mean, he's on the field. He's absolutely playing.
Christian Miller's like
9-9 to get in there. He does. Let me see. Let me look at the defensive stats here real quick.
I'll join you. Let's see.
Did he register a tackle? Yeah, I don't see that he registered anything. So, but he was in there.
Yep, he was playing for sure. So another week where the Dogs didn't beat themselves with penalties. That's good. And they only gave up 125 yards rushing, you know, for the game. That's decent. Not great, decent. So, yeah, I haven't actually looked at the box score that close yet. Sorry.
Yeah, I need to go back in there. Georgia had 8 different guys rush. They had 9 different guys catch passes. Again, I like to point out the fact that they did get a 500 yards of offense against a Tennessee defense that a lot of people are saying was, you know, very strong. 304 yards passing, 198 through the air, but they also gave up 496. So I know it's fun to talk about how much Stacy Cyril sucks and how bad Mike Bobo is, but at some point you got to ask about Glenn Schumann. You got to ask about the secondary. Hey, T-Rob, what's going on with your safeties? You're supposed to be one of the top guys out there. You can't Chidera Uzadiribe. Where are your other guys?
You got to win. It's just that simple. They have to win.
It's easy to pick on the same guys week after week, and especially when your right side of your line, which is injured, isn't getting it done. You're like, well, yeah, just put a new guy in there. Well, you saw what happened when Tennessee put in 2 new cornerbacks. First play, Colby Young kills them. Without their 2 starting cornerbacks, Gunnar Stockton goes off for 300 yards. You just can't put another guy in who's just as good.
Right.
It'd be great if you could, but as Ben said, you just can't stack depth like you used to because the A.J. Harrises of the world, the Damon Wilsons of the world are going to go somewhere else. Hell, even the wide receiver that went to Syracuse, what was it,
Jackson Meeks.
Jackson Meeks. He's like, I can stick around at Georgia and get two plays a game where I can go be the leading receiver at Syracuse.
To that point, exactly. That's why I look at this game as a program win, to use a Kirby Smart phrase. I call it the superstructure. The superstructure of what Georgia is went a long way today in helping them win this game. But it's the mental toughness. It's all that other stuff, because it's like Kirby said, and this, Roddy, you heard him say it from the podium. We have to get our 22 or our 44 better faster than the other guy can get his 22 or 44 better, because everybody's in the same boat and they're making the same mistakes along the way. You just have to hope they don't happen at the wrong time. And then you fall back on the standard, which is the superstructure that they have in place, the way they work, the mental toughness, the belief they have in each other. There's a lot to build on there as far as I'm concerned for the rest of this year, because this is a young squad overall. I know there are a lot of veteran dudes that are playing and have played, but when more than 50% of your roster is in the first or second year, there's some things to learn there, and there will be some growing pains. And as they notch these victories, regardless of what any of us say about how ugly it may have been here or there, they're growing and they're earning those scars. And by the time we get to the end of the year, then this is not the same team as you begin the year with.
Yeah, but so is everybody else in the league.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. It's like Kirby said, there's this much. Am I this much better than you? Because everybody's doing the same thing. So
see, now Amari, who was actually one of our winners earlier, Amari says the problem is there's a fix for the O-line. What is the fix for cornerback and outside linebackers? If there's a fix for the O-line, I haven't seen it. Well, maybe they get healthy, and that would be the fix.
Yeah. There you go.
Fix for the cornerbacks. I mean, you can't be in recruiting. You nailed some of the top recruits in the nation. Maybe we start seeing DeMello Jones get in there. The outside linebackers, I mean, Gabe Harris is pretty highly ranked coming in. Quintavious Johnson was.
He's underrated, Gabe Harris.
But again, here's the thing. Some of that on the outside linebackers, that's also scheme. It's not always – can they defeat blocks, get to them? They also have to play the run. They have to play the RPO.
Right.
So it's
where you're never right. You're always wrong.
Yeah, it's there's something to it there.
Roddy, are they planning to use Isaiah Gibson off the edge, or is he going to be like a 5 technique?
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen anything about him. He's so far. I don't say he's so far down the depth chart, but I mean, I expect to see a lot more from Justin Williams tonight. I expect to see maybe Chris Jones gets in. Chris Cole. Somebody was asking about Chris Cole earlier. He had like 2 plays, but a lot of people thought that he would be that absolute wrecker. But it's
they got to figure it out. There's talent there, and like one player in particular, Andre Evans. Where is he? What happened? I haven't heard anything from him at all. And he's a guy that I was high on as a potential. Yeah, the corner.
Oh, wait, did he tear his ACL?
Did he? Did I miss that?
Roddy, didn't Andre Evans, isn't he out for the season?
I think you're right. I can't remember.
I think he tore his ACL right before the year. So if you missed it, that's why.
Yeah.
What about Branch? What about what is it? Zion Branch?
He disappeared.
I mean, we brought in it's just, I guess you kind of have to see how they play, but and coaches see how they play, right? I mean, they see how they are in practice, and they see how they're going to be and how they match up to their competitors. I mean,
that's it. You may just have who you have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
well, here's the thing.
what
I think that, Steve Ramey has a really good point here, especially when we're talking about the edge guys getting pressure. They do run that up tempo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That causes problems in the secondary. Very true. But that also causes problems
up
with
front.
your edge pressure.
Yeah.
Remember, a lot of it's catch and throw. That was the thing about in the first two games. You're like, well, where are all the sacks? I'm like, okay, how many opportunities did they actually line up to give you a chance for a sack? Maybe 5 plays in the first game that it wasn't just catch and throw.
Yeah.
The guy actually took a 5 or 7 step drop, set up in the pocket, and you could actually work to get to him. Now, this kid, I mean, there were times when Aguilar did that, and Georgia's like, hey, he's a running quarterback, so we can't overcommit. He also can, he's got great running backs. He can hand it off, and they're going to gash on the run. We got to stop the run first. And if we crash in our edge guys, he's just going to dump it to the outside and take off. So
Did our defense look tired? Did our defense look real tired with the up tempo? I mean, we had
to me, they didn't look tired. They looked like sometimes that they were rushing to get to their spots.
Right.
There were a couple times that, and this is on Kirby Smart. Georgia would try to substitute.
Yeah, that's
the offense did not substitute, and they didn't get it done. There was a penalty there that would have stopped the drive.
Yep.
But I don't think Christian Miller got off the field in time.
No, and I think it only happened one time. I think it was the only time it ever happened during the game. I think after that it was
That's
like
the only penalty, but there are other times where they were struggling to get in position because they changed it up. I want to look at the total plays. Georgia ran 87 plays to Tennessee's 70.
Yeah.
So, yards per play, Georgia had 5.8 yards per play. Tennessee had 7.1 yards per play. So, pretty damn strong.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're coming up on the 3-hour mark, and at that point, I have to go. So, just letting you know. Well, yeah.
Let's see.
Antoine, it's the Army transfer, and that's Elo Medozi. Yeah. Did he even get in?
I remember. Was it Cole
Kubelik
who said this guy's going to be like a double-digit sack guy?
I think he predicted him as being maybe the defensive player of the year for Georgia or something.
Because I remember hearing that before, and I'm like, transitioning from Army, that's a whole different. Like, obviously the guy's tough, and obviously he's built well, but transition to SEC football from that style is a big difference. So I was when I heard that, I was like, no, he's not. I don't think he's going to get double-digit sacks.
I mean, is he better than Chris Jones? Is my question.
I think he could be.
Well, that brings you back to, can you play the position now, right? Because that's not just a pass rush thing. Now, package-wise, yeah, you get a rabbit package or something, you put him in there, and if he's beneficial, great. But Chris was playing in those first 2 games because of how well he, was handling the run game. So that's always a part of it, right? Just like we were saying with Noah Thomas, you got to be able to do the physical part too.
Yeah.
So
now, Roddy, are we going to do helmet stickers? Because this for the defense side of the ball is going to be a pain to have to figure out.
All right, we can do that. Hawaii. Let me bring on Hawaii Dog real quick here. Let's see if I can do it. Hawaii Dog, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm all right. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hawaii
Hey, guys.
Dog, give us your thoughts, and then we're going to move on to helmet stickers. So give us your take on the game real quick.
Hey, I know you're trying to get off, man, and I enjoy your content.
We got time. We got time.
Hey, Roddy.
Yep.
And I appreciate you bringing on Randy, man. I appreciate Randy's content too. Like y'all, I listen to y'all, man. Hey, man, I'm out here on this fucking island, man. I'm jonesing for Georgia football stuff, man. So, hey, look, guys. Take a deep breath. Do the box breathing. The 4-step box breathing. Like, we're going to be okay. we're a young football team. Kirby told us this. Like 50% of the 50% of the roster, man, is like 1 or 2 years in. We're gonna be okay. But I'll tell you this: in 2 weeks, if we don't beat Alabama, y'all gonna see the demon come out in me, and I'm gonna be on here. And oh Lord, y'all gonna see me ugly.
It's the same damn thing every year.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. But look, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We got a young team, and we're a good team. We're a good team, guys. I'm telling you, we're a good team. We're just he. They're teething. They're teething right now. They're teething. They're trying to get them bulldog teeth out, but it ain't happening right now. But we're gonna get there. But for them to go up there in that stadium and win, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if it's a damn field goal. We won. We won. You put that bulldog chest out front and you walk out. Hey, we won, man. We won. Be happy.
That's right, Hawaii. I said it when I got on here, man. I am a happy dog today. There's no two ways about it. I think the stuff we might pick at today is all legit, right? We can ask our questions and point whatever out, but a game like today builds those scars. So if they continue to improve as much as they can, then this will benefit them down the road. Personnel issues are what they are, but I'm with you. I'm a happy dog today.
Yeah.
Well, you can't ever get mad about a win, right? I mean,
that's right.
I think we've all kind of been.
Hey,
I don't want to say
you were here
spoiled.
last week. We were furious about that win. Come on.
You're right. You're right. But I mean, I don't want to say we're spoiled, but at the end of the day, you can't be mad about a win. I mean, you can't beat everybody. You can't beat everybody by 30. 50. You can't do that. You gotta be happy about those close games.
Georgia didn't cover though.
You gotta trust Kirby. Like when you watch Star Wars and then you just gotta trust the master. The master's got this, and he's gonna tell us through until Ole Miss happens from last year. But you gotta tell us through. We got this. We got this.
We got this until we play a game like Ole Miss last year. Yeah.
Hey.
As long as it's not Alabama, then Hawaii Dog's okay.
Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, man. Like, dude, if that happens, I'm gonna be unhinged. And look.
Oh, we got it. We got the picture. There it is. The only guy that's still funny.
I got to get up here at 9:30 in the fucking morning to watch y'all's games because I love Georgia. But here we go.
I've seen it cul-de-sac before. This dude is a cul-de-sac king, and he lets all his friends know when Georgia's playing. So, Hawaii Dog, I got to ask this for you real quick. I like the comment from MG. Says the best win I've seen in the Kirby era post Natty. Where does this win rank? I mean, this game felt. I mean, I know it doesn't have as much on the line as that Oklahoma the Rose Bowl win, but in the Tech win last year, 8 overtimes. But this was a game that you had no business winning. You're down 14. You come back on a 4th and 6 to drop one in the bucket. You hit the 2-point conversion. You go to overtime on a missed field goal, and you stuff them, hold them to a field goal, and then you basically punch it in the end zone with a transfer running back. I'm not saying it's storybook, but this is an instant classic. This is one of those games that you would see. SEC Network will be replaying this in about 10 years, going Georgia, Tennessee, top 15 matchup, 2025. This is a big ass game.
Oh, it is. And I that's what I've been trying to say is I just think we don't even know how big it is right now. again, if we get down, we're 8-9 games into the year, and Georgia's still with just one loss, or maybe even undefeated, or whatever it is. If Texas rolls into town and they're still undefeated, I mean, don't overlook what this game means for everybody. What was it Gunner said last week in the post game? He's like, I want something to the effect of, I want to play with more confidence, or I need to, or however he phrased it. You make that throw with ice water in your veins, and then are you going to worry about that the next time you're on the road somewhere? No. I mean, and let's also keep in mind too, I know it was said before the game by me and others, but this was a quarterback making his first start on the road in the SEC. The last time we did that, it was at Auburn in 23, and Georgia loses unless Brock Bowers puts on the cape. Today, if anybody put on the cape, it was Gunner Stockton. Absolutely. The guy who touches the ball every play. So I just don't even think we know how big this game is yet. It could be just the turning point for not just this year, but the next couple of years.
No, you're right. If you lost this one, now you're like, well, you have to win against Alabama next week. You have to win. Oh, yeah, that's up. But again, I'm just saying, just as an instant classic, standalone, not season related.
Yeah,
this is a big one, and Hawaii Dog feels it, and he's out there telling everybody about it.
Hey, what I'm trying to tell y'all is, just calm down. Just calm the fuck down.
Breathe.
Hey, Hawaii,
our defense is gonna be okay. You see how those rotating those corners? He played like fucking 6 corners. He ain't like, he's developing his team. He's developing his team.
That's right. Hawaii Dog, I got if you give me a little leadway, I can give you a little cover. I can give you a little cover, when you're dropping the F-bombs. But I love it, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I promise you, I'm conservative, and I'm a Bible holder. I'm just hyped up right now.
No, bro, I love it. I love it. I'm just giving you a hard time.
This really sets the tone for the rest of the. I mean, this really
it does.
It does. Sets the tone. If you let's look at Arch Manning on his first big road game.
Yep.
Let's see how many passing yards he had in the fourth quarter. 38. Does anybody remember that? At Ohio State, the first game of the year. Gunner Stockton really played well for his first game. I don't want to say first game, but because he came in and played against Texas last year. But on the road, SEC, top 25, this guy really, really did something special today. I mean,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, Arch Manning had 38 passing yards in the fourth quarter against Ohio State. And this really just sets the tone for the rest of the year of what, like y'all said. I mean, if we lose today and then you say, hey, we have to win against Bama, we have to win against Ole Miss, we have to beat Florida, it kind of gives you a little bit of room not to lose. I'm not saying I want to lose, but I'm saying in these big games, you're not as pressured. It's not.
To your point, Jason Butt, remember this guy used to work at The Athletic. He writes for us now. He wrote a piece Tuesday saying Georgia's playoff run begins this Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you're saying, Heath. I mean, this is again, Georgia lost 2 games last year, won the SEC championship, got into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Lost their quarterback, did not have a good game against Notre Dame. Point is, if you're Dabo, you're out.
Yeah.
You were a sexy pick to be. A lot of people picking them to win the whole damn thing. They're like, easy conference. They'll get to the playoffs. They got great defensive line, first round draft picks, great quarterback, good quarterback, great defensive line. We're going to pick them to win the national title. They're 1-2.
1-2.
And we're trailing to Troy at the half. That they got some issues over there. Barely South Carolina's sucking it up right now. I don't know what's going on in this Florida game, but there are a lot of teams that have some real issues. But Georgia is 3-0, and I want to point out that Kirby Smart in every year that he's been at Georgia, he started the season 3-0.
Oh, so Florida lost. So I'm also thinking there's a chance that when Georgia plays Florida, Billy Napier's not the coach. Because I looked at their schedule.
I could see
there's
them.
a real chance. I think they might fire him before they even play Georgia.
They'll fire him before the Georgia game, and then they will come out with their hair on fire. Happens every time. Call my shot now.
Well, they have a bigger question because if they decide to let him go, and they should, then they have to know that the quarterback's going to walk out the door behind him. Now, based on the way he played tonight, it probably won't matter.
5 interceptions.
Right. It probably won't matter. But I'm just saying.
Is he doing cocaine too?
There's no way Lagway's sticking around if they let Napier go.
You know,
So,
you know.
yeah. So there you go. It'd be a whole lot of going on there. Whole lot happening.
It's a head case down there. It's a head case.
Imagine Florida just hires Mullen again.
Dude,
it would not surprise me.
They feel
I think that's
stupid
it. It would
now.
not surprise me.
Mullen, through his first 40 games, was 31-9 at the University of Florida. Same as Urban Meyer. Coming into tonight, Billy was 20-20. So at this point, they'd take Mullen in a heartbeat.
Or overreaction, not Georgia overreaction, just college football. What if Kellen DeBoer's gone next year and Dabo Swinney has a bad year at Clemson and says, "Hey, I'm gonna go just like Kirby did."
I'd be much more concerned if Brent Key took off and went to Alabama.
That's another good. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's Georgia low key. That's one of their 2 to 3 toughest games this year. Might be Tech because they always it's their Super Bowl, and you have to look at it from the mindset of you're playing them on the road this year, and that's a team that Haynes King. He might not be the flashiest arm. That dude's a tough quarterback, and the one thing Georgia hasn't faced yet is a good quarterback that can really move, is going to run a lot. So that's going to be a tough game.
But it's in Atlanta. So it's at Mercedes-Benz. They did something. I didn't know
if that was next year.
Before the season started, I said Georgia's a 9-3 football team. They're going to go 10-2 because I believe in Kirby Smart and the superstructure. And I had the 2 losses as Alabama and Georgia Tech because I'm like, these streaks are what they are. So I'm going to go with it both ways. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Flag wave.
Awful, man.
I'm just telling you, it's all setting up that Georgia has to play Miami.
That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
I'm just telling you, that's the football gods are going to make it happen.
Yeah.
It is September 13th. And
I know real quick.
Does
anyone know if Clemson plays UNC? I need to see Belichick versus Dabo. It's like I don't know why I need to see that game. I just feel like it might be the funniest football game of all time. This is Dabo versus Belichick with the way Clemson's been, and then UNC. I don't know what that operation is at this point.
Hey, Mr. Sampson's got it. He said the same thing in the beginning of the season. So,
All right. Hey, let me kick off the helmet stickers right here. I'm going to jump off here as soon as we get that part done. Is that okay, Mr. Keyboard on the 1s and 2s?
Go nuts.
All right. Let's do this. I'll give you 2, 1 for offense, 1 for defense. For me, I'm going Aguero for his overall night on defense, and it's got to be Gunnar Stockton. The guy, like I said, when I got on here, I'm not worried about Gunnar. He's not the problem. Georgia's got other issues they have to fix. It's not Gunnar Stockton. And today, he played like a guy who deserves a helmet sticker.
Fair. All right, Heath.
Man, I'm going to go with Gunnar as well. And I'm going to go Aguero too. I mean, played well. I think both guys, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think both guys played real well. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go, against the norm. London Humphreys had 2 big catches today.
Yeah.
And one of them, I mean, to me, that arguably gave you the chance to go to overtime, or not arguably, it did. So then I'm going to go him on offense because he was the big play receiver. And then on defense, just because he was in the backfield a lot, and I felt like he was the only one making explosive plays on the D-line, was Kristen Miller. Kristen Miller made multiple plays, and the rest of the defensive line, it was kind of either just there, or, they were kind of getting bullied on a couple drives in the second half. I thought Kristen Miller shined when not a lot of other people did, and he had some crucial plays. So I'm going to go Kristen Miller and London Humphreys.
Good call.
All right. You guys suck at this. I'm embarrassed for most of you. All right, defensively, we're going to give them to C.J. Allen, 11 tackles, 1 solo, 1 pass breakup. Kyron Jones also had 10 tackles. So I've been kind of crapping on anybody not named KJ Bolden back there.
Yeah.
But Kyron Jones very quietly racked up a lot of tackles. He had 10. He was the second leading guy on the team. That was pretty good there. So I'm give those two. Offensively, you got to give one to Zachariah Branch and one to Colby Young. Zachariah Branch, 5 catches, 69 yards, a touchdown. Colby Young, 4 catches, 73 yards. Pretty impressed with both of those guys. Nate Frazier had 14 carries for 73 yards, averaging 5.2 yards a touch.
Ran hard.
And let's not forget one of the last plays of the game where Nate Frazier busted it out for 20 yards.
You're in overtime. You need a play.
Yeah.
Who are you going to hand the ball off? Now, remember, first play of the game on the first half and second half for Georgia, they handed off to Dwight Phillips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Dwight had a good game. I mean, he averaged 5.8 yards a carry, 5 touches, 29 yards. But when you needed it most, crunch time, nut cutting time, you hand the ball off on a great play call. Micah Morris comes flying out of the pulls and picks up a guy with a kick-out block. But Nate Frazier takes it 21 yards. Yeah. Now, and also got to give Josh McCray 2 helmet stickers. He's not getting a ton of carries. But when they got to the red zone, they learned last week, we got to have our big back punch it in. That's why we brought him in here.
Mm-hmm.
And you hand it to him 1, 2, 3 times, and he freaking gets you your touchdown, 2 touchdowns. So that's how you do helmet stickers.
Got it. Notes taken. I
Nailed
did not
it.
look at the box score. So there
White
you go.
Dog, you want to give a helmet sticker? Are you still with us? He's fighting his neighbor, so we're going to let him. That's a good dude. He's the I remember first trip to Hawaii earlier this year. I wish I should have reached out to him, let him know I was coming. I could have stayed at his place.
He's giving it to the kicker for not missing a kick.
Yeah.
Roddy, before you get off here, this is for you. This is just for you right here. This is
Good Lord. See, now I'm trying to zoom in. Hang on a second. I go back.
There we go.
Now I can read them better. Ooh, yeah. I like that Eagle Red Volunteers. Elijah, 18. Good Lord. Oh, my goodness. That 4 rows is so damn good. You're killing me with the Colonel back there and the Woodford Reserve and the Old Forest. Good son of a.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we need to get you on the watch along.
Do what?
We need to get you on the watch along.
That's right. And then we got this over here, Old Weller.
The whole damn. Good Lord. I don't know what you do, but I know where your money goes. All right, folks. We're going to end the show there. We've been 3 hours, 15 minutes. Time for us to log off. I appreciate everybody being with us. So for Randy, Heath, Hawaii Dog, and our man Ben, we appreciate you being a part of the show, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Now, Tuesday, we have a show with Coach Donnan. I think you'll definitely want to tune into that. And then in 2 weeks, we'll have our watch-along show and our post-game for Georgia versus Alabama. Maybe they do the blackout for that one.
See, why?